Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to Inspired by Mystery Podcast. I am your host, Sammy Soros, and I have a very special guest today. One of my most dearest friends in the entire world. This is Crystal, also known in the chat as Gypsy Danger. If you guys have seen Gypsy Danger in the chat, this is the face behind the danger. And we also have Tony Danger in here too.
That's
it's like
true.
You guys are cousins.
It is very dangerous in there right now. Very dangerous.
It is. Danger is my middle name.
It is his, but
It is. Yeah. That's true.
mine is my last name.
That's true. Yeah.
Gypsy Danger.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay.
He hyphenates, actually. We're married, and he wanted to keep his own name. So it's Tony Danger Tibble.
That's fucking awesome. I'm glad you're here, Tone.
Look at this
My
big old
homie.
rock he gave me. Look at that.
He
Thanks,
knows how to
Tony,
do
Tony,
it.
Tony.
Yeah, Tony. But yeah, this is going to be a really special episode. We have been talking forever about having Crystal come on and talk about her work in the horror industry. And here we are. You are here.
Yay!
Oh my freaking goodness. I would like to welcome the Roxy Gunn Project with a raid of 50. Fuck yeah. Welcome, everybody. I'm so glad to have all of you in here.
Fucking A.
This is fantastic. For all of you guys that are new in here, we are the Inspired by Mystery podcast. I am the host, Sammy Soros. And every Monday, we do a show about weird news. We cover all the weirdest news in the world, and we chat with the chat, and it's super sarcastic, and we have a really fucked up time. It's great. But on Wednesdays, we do interviews with various different people. We've had scientists, climate scientists. We've had space weather scientists. We have had paranormal investigators. We have talked about lucid dreaming. We cover a lot of different mysterious kind of topics. And today we have my dear friend Crystal, and she has worked in LA, in Hollywood, in the horror industry.
Yes.
And
Well, San Diego and Los Angeles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, San Diego as well.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very
That's where
nice.
I got my start.
But if you guys out there have seen Paranormal Activity, which I'm sure probably a good amount of you guys have, there was a very small crew, and she was one of the very small crew to film and do the stage makeup for Paranormal Activity. So we're going to get into that, which is going to be great. But I just really want to welcome all of you guys. I am so happy to have you guys in.
Hi, lady.
Anybody that is in the chat right now that does not know about the Roxy Gunn Project, please give them a follow. Chris and Roxy are very, very dear friends of mine. And now, RJ, Raceland James over there, he is also in the project as well. So he is also a dear friend. They have incredible music. So please go ahead and check them out. Give them a follow. They are absolutely fantastic musicians and people. But Roxy actually is a mod for this channel. So it's pretty cool you guys all came in. Roxy has the mod sword, so don't fuck with her, because she will mod sword you to death. And actually, you could probably make it seem like somebody got mod sworded, couldn't you? With your amazing
I could mod sword
makeup.
somebody up. Yeah.
Fantastic.
I'll mod you right up.
Fucking awesome. Awesome. Cool. I am so happy to have you guys. Thank you guys for the follows. I truly appreciate it so very much. So now that you guys are all here, you came at the perfect time. We actually just were getting started. So since it is Halloween time, since it is spooky season, we have been waiting to do this interview for October. We wanted to do this right before Halloween,
right?
Because we're just gonna dig right into the heart of horror,
and I could give some makeup tips and stuff at the end.
Fucking fantastic. Yeah. If anybody has any questions, like, feel free to put anything you guys like in the chat.
Oh yeah, totally. If you have questions about horror movies, horror makeup, sock it to me.
She knows so much movie trivia. It is the craziest thing. She knows every actor, everything that they've done, even the actors where you're like, why do you even know who this person is? She just does. It's amazing. She's a wealth of knowledge, like a bottomless pit of horror
useless
knowledge.
Information.
It's fucking great.
Full of useless information.
So I would like to start with you telling me about where your initial love for the spooky and the dark and the horror came from? Like, was this something from when you were a small child that you were always interested in the aesthetics, or did it grow on you? Like, where did it begin?
I think there was kind of spookiness all around me, but I didn't really notice anything until, like, maybe, I don't know, how old was I when Thriller came out? Like 9?
That was 82.
10? Okay, so 76.
It was 82. So you're like 6.
I guess. Okay, so
You were tiny.
Yeah, I was. Okay, so at 6, at the age of 6, my dad and my stepmom sat me down to watch the Michael Jackson Thriller video because it was premiering. And they sat us all down. We watched it. Rick Baker was the makeup artist on it. He's really famous makeup artist. Pretty much up there with Stan Winston. Stan Winston is like the granddaddy of all makeup artists. He did like the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park.
He did
Terminator.
makeup for dinosaurs?
He made the dinosaurs. Yeah. All the animatronic dinosaurs, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mac Daddy right there, for sure.
Totally. And once I learned about Rick Baker, like the whole thing with werewolves kind of stuck with me. I thought that was an awesome concept, just like, because I was a little rage monster. And if somebody pissed me off the wrong way, I would just like turn into the Hulk. And then I would like calm down again. So I liken my childhood to like werewolfing out or hulking out whenever I get really angry. But
so you identified with these creatures.
I totally did.
Because of how you felt inside.
It's
pretty cool.
Totally.
Interesting.
And then, so getting a little bit older and loving horror movies, I don't know where I started watching them or who started, letting me watch them. But The Exorcist was one of the early ones that I saw.
I was going to ask what was the first one. Do you remember the first horror movie that you saw? Me and Tavia actually just talked about this the other night. And I'm pretty sure that Poltergeist was the first one that I ever saw.
Really?
To my recollection. Yeah. So I was wondering if you remember.
I want to say that I saw something like... Did I see American Werewolf in London? I think I saw American Werewolf in London.
Okay, that was probably the first one, and you're like, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah, because it was one of the first horror movies that was also like a buddy comedy. Because there's a lot of humor in that movie, but it's also really dark. Like the dream sessions that he has and stuff with like the Nazi wolves like shooting each other and stuff like that. It's a crazy movie. Check it out. So that got me interested in Rick Baker, and werewolf stuff got me interested. And then I became a zombie girl, and the Night of the Living Dead, Return of the, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, Return of the Living Dead, Return of the Living Dead 2 and 3.
Anything with the name Dead in it. You're fucking dead.
Yeah, Land of the Dead, Your Mama's Dead, whatever.
Don't tell Mom the babysitter's dead?
Yes! Surprisingly, no zombies, but...
I'm right on top of that, Rose.
Just one old dead woman, yeah.
Okay.
My mom and I still say that to each other constantly.
That's so funny.
I'm right on top of that, Rose.
Yeah.
As soon as we're like, oh, you should do this. Yeah. Oh, I'm right on top of that, Rose.
But so The Exorcist, you were mentioning The Exorcist, and that was the first one that like really fucked you up.
Really fucked me up. That was like the scariest makeup I ever saw.
It's fucking scary.
It was terrifying. And then like the voice, the woman's voice. It was a woman who recorded the voice for Reagan when she's possessed. This woman just like sat in a dark room in a wooden chair with nothing else in it. Just she was like chain smoking cigarettes and pounding Jack Daniels and then doing her takes. She was like trying to fuck herself up as much as she could, and then come up with this crazy voice. And
holy shit.
Yeah.
Pause just for 1 second. RJ actually said, dig the pentagram. Is that a tattoo? It's funny because this one's a tattoo.
That's totally a tattoo.
But this is, she was showing off a little bit of her makeup skills.
This is a prosthetic that I put on earlier today, and it's supposed to be carved into my chest. So if you saw it, it's raised. Like, here, touch it.
I love it.
That's awesome. you can feel where it's indented into this into the prosthetic.
Really cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, maybe not on camera, but
I like it.
But yeah, that's not a tattoo, but that's a tattoo.
But that one's a tattoo.
I was looking at the
Oh
screen.
yeah. It's flipped backwards. It's new. Give her a break. That's so funny. So Exorcist. It sounds like the Exorcist, and and I know too, because we've talked about horror movies so much, and we watch movies all the time together, and you still credit The Exorcist to be the scariest movie.
I still won't watch
all
it.
Time.
Yeah, I still can't watch it. And if I, on my 21st birthday is when they did their special re-release with added footage and all that stuff. My friends down in San Diego took me to the theater for my birthday and like held me down into the seat to watch that movie. And I was like, haha, very funny. Like, okay, I'm with my friends. I'll just go with it. But they literally had to hold my hands down because I was ready to go.
Okay, tell me what it is specifically about that movie that really just strikes a chord with you.
Maybe a really fucked up Baptist childhood where they actually performed exorcisms on people. Yes, someone very close to me, one of my brothers, had an exorcist performed on him.
Why did they feel the need to perform an exorcism?
Because he had anger issues.
And they thought that he was possessed?
Yeah.
Did he think he was possessed?
No.
Did you think he was possessed?
No.
Okay. That is fucking terrifying.
Yes.
Did he play along with it to be like, oh yeah, it totally worked. That's fucking great.
No,
don't do that again.
He didn't, but I spoke in tongues all the time. I would do that shit just for fun, yeah. I'd just stand up in the middle of a sermon and just start like blabbering and stuff, and everyone's like, oh.
Can you give me a sample of you speaking in tongues? I don't know how to speak in tongues, so I want to see you try to do it. Okay, that sounded kind of like a Native American chant. Actually.
It did kind of, didn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you want to know why?
Were you possessed by Native Americans?
No, we have done horrible things to those people.
I know.
Watch Room, what is it? Something. It's a Stanley Kubrick documentary about Room, I want to say 237. Is that the room in The Shining?
That sounds about right, actually. Yeah.
Anyway, talk about like having weird fucking conspiracy theories and things about the Native Americans and the Apollo 11 landing. Yeah, you should watch that documentary. It's bizarre.
Okay.
But it's all about how he ties all these conspiracies and like horrible things that we as white people did.
Fucking A.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
Shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. But so back to Exorcist stuff though, like so that kind of struck a chord because of your own personal experiences with it.
That, and I hate the concept of not being in charge of your own self, because that's what was going on when I was that young. Is people were really bossing me around and telling me I couldn't do anything that used to make me happy. And so the thought of not being able to be in control of your own mind.
Yes, which I have to tell you, I have to agree with you on this one. Since we're such good friends, what some of my biggest fears in the world are, and I have like 3 legitimate fears, and like possession is one of them.
Yep.
It really fucks me up. Like, I could watch people's heads getting sawed off, whatever. Like, I don't care about blood, gore, whatever. It's totally fine. But the subject matter of possession really just scares the shit out of me. Like, on a core level, where I have watched some horror movies that involve possession stuff, and I wish I could unsee it. I wish I could erase it from my brain. And I honestly think there's certain ones that I've blocked out because, like, I don't remember a lot of details from certain ones that I've seen, and I will never watch them again. It's that subject matter specifically that just really gives me the fucking willies. I'm really the same way.
Like, I'm not scared of zombies. I'm not scared of, werewolves or vampires.
Yeah, because those are all separate from ourselves.
But possession is
loss of control over our own, mind, body, soul, or whatever. And to me, what the fuck is scarier than losing your mind and having something else take control of that? Actually, just on the way over here, I was listening to the Astonishing Legends podcast about the Sally House, which is one of the most haunted houses, and it has so much actual documentation of this place being so fucked up, and actually the man that lived there had some kind of possession things. It was right before I pulled up. He was talking about how it was progressively growing, and he kept hearing these voices and in his dreams and everything that was telling him to kill his wife. And he was like avoiding killing his wife. And at one point, he was really like struggling to try to separate this from himself. And he was in the kitchen, and he said the last thing he remembers, he poured a bowl of cereal and gave some milk to the cat. And he blacked out, does not remember any of this, left the house, and apparently came back to the house, and the cat was stabbed to the counter. And when he was just telling the story on the podcast, he's like, I am so sad to even say this because I am an animal lover and this pains me. He's like, I'm going to be honest, I do not remember doing this. This is not something that I would ever in my life do. And he's like, I hate even talking about it, but I want to share this part of the story to really make everybody understand the severity of the issue in this house. So if anybody's interested, Astonishing Legends, the Sally house, it's a crazy fucking story. It's totally nuts. But it involves that possession. So, you know, on this topic, like hearing about him blacking out and murdering his cat that he loves, like that is the scariest thing in the world. So I can totally understand.
I've got an anti-possession tattoo. In the very center is the anti-possession tattoo mark from Supernatural.
Well, good. I hope that it works for you.
My boyfriend Jensen and I are running away together. Sorry, Tony.
Oh, thanks, Whitney. Thank you. Yeah, I redid my roots. Thank you.
Oh,
thank you. And she likes your ears. I'm glad to see you in here too, Whitney, by the way. Okay, so that was one of the first ones that you saw. So as a kid. So rather than it scare you and you be like, well, fuck this sucks, I don't want to watch this stuff. How did that turn into an obsession for you? Did you like that feeling of fear?
It wasn't so much that, because I was an anxious child, and I'm still an anxious person, and fear doesn't really exist when you're anxious because you're pretty much afraid of everything all the time. So you're kind of at a heightened level all the time.
That makes
so
sense.
Anything can like scare you, or nothing can scare you, because it's like, well, I wasn't really scared of anything else that I saw. But I think that one affected me from my childhood, the timing, just everything. Sure. But I got into the makeup, maybe subconsciously thinking that would not make that movie as scary if I understood how they did it.
Wow, that actually makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, like I got really interested in, I want to know how they do it. Probably because I was, I want to take the makeup off the monster and see what I'm really dealing with.
Yeah.
So.
Wow, that's really interesting. That makes so much sense to get the behind the scenes, and then therefore it, it's not as scary if you know exactly. You can look at it and be like, oh, I know exactly how they made that thing look so scary.
Yeah.
And the pea soup and the whole bit, you're like, it's okay. It's not a demon barfing all over the place.
Right.
It's fucking pea soup, so we're good.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, that's pretty cool. So that movie is what sparked your interest specifically for the makeup.
No, the Thriller video did.
The Thriller.
The Thriller video when I was 6 years old, that got me. I was like, I want to know how they did that.
That's so cool. At such a young age that you were so inspired to do that. So that being said, when did you begin learning about it?
When I was living in San Diego, I was in my early 20s, and that was when I was obsessed with zombies. I don't want to be possessed by zombies. So, yeah, my zombie obsession, and I learned about Tom Savini, who did the original Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, all of those deads. Not the Return of the Living Dead. That was the other writer who went his own way. So both of those started off in Night of the Living Dead, and then the George Romero and the other guy went their separate ways. Nobody remembers his name. Even I can't remember his name.
Wow, really?
Yeah, so he went on to do the Night. George Romero did Night, Dawn, and Day, and he did Night, Return.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So like when you were young and you were doing Halloween costumes and stuff, did you choose to try to do some kind of like extra spooky stuff so that you could do your own makeup?
Not especially, because I wasn't inspired by any of the makeup that was around me. I didn't know about makeup. I didn't, I wasn't necessarily educating myself because there was no Google, and I should have been going to the library and doing research and stuff like that. But mostly I just watched a lot of movies. That was my research, and like try to figure out, oh, I see what you're doing here. But the first time I took a stab at makeup was...
Took a stab. Fantastic.
I read Tom Savini how-to book, basically. And I was like, oh, this is cool as shit. This is exactly what I want. Okay. And it shows you how to make fang appliances. So it's like a retainer, and, but it's custom made to each person.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. So it's like I would cast your teeth, have a mold, pour silicone in the mold. Well, not silicone, acrylic in the mold, and then sand it down. I had my awesome Dremel. I missed that Dremel. But yeah, sand it down, shine it up. I made so many. Oh my God. In the, what was it? Early 2000s, I guess. No, it was earlier than that. I'm terrible with time frames. But anyway, I was living down in San Diego, getting, to know this book. And I was like, fuck yeah, I'm going to make some fangs for myself and see what this is all about. So I did. I made my first pair of fangs for myself. It was just 2 fangs and a little like bar that went across the roof of my mouth.
Okay.
And then once I got good at them, I was like, I bet I can make money doing this. So I mentioned to a few friends who were LARPers, live action role playing people, that would actually meet up in this dark park near the police station at night and would LARP all night. Don't
fun.
laugh. I totally did it, and it was fun. Oh my God, it was so much fun. But I got into it because I was meeting a lot of people and making bank on these fangs.
How much did you charge for a pair?
$250, $300.
Wow, really? And this was back in the day. So
this was back
that's
in
amazing.
The day.
How long did it take you to make one pair? What'd you say?
Maybe about 5 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So then that was the first thing that you did from that book. That was the first thing that you attempted. You're like, I could fucking do this.
Yeah.
What was the next thing you did?
I think I started playing around with latex and doing like zombie makeup and, cuts and wounds and gashes and just, applying layer after layer and then peeling it off in the middle, and you paint it red, you put fresh blood on it. It looks like, you've been torn open and blah, blah, blah.
Crazy though, this was in the time before the internet and before YouTube. Now there's so many tutorials and there's so much resource of information that's available for anybody.
Yes.
So you at this point, you just had to go buy some books.
Yeah.
So you weren't able to actually watch anybody doing this. You were just reading and giving it a go.
Yeah, it's not like they had VHS behind the scenes features and would show you how they did the shit,
Damn.
But I didn't know what else to do, and I wasn't like, I needed to grow more. So I found a makeup artist who lived down in San Diego, who worked on a lot of USA shows. One of them, the only one I can remember, is The Invisible Man.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he did that show on, I think it was USA, many, many years ago. But I hunted him down and I went to his house and I was like, hey man, you're a makeup artist and I want to be a makeup artist. Why don't I help you out and just watch what you do? And he's like, okay, as long as you don't annoy me, we'll do this. And I was like, okay, great. Fair is fair. And started hanging out with him. He taught me a lot.
You just showed up at, hold on, I just need to go back for a second. You just knocked on his door?
Looked him up in the phone book. Or no, there was Google at that time. But basically, I was like, searching for a makeup artist in San Diego. Wow. And found him, and his name is Dan Ubel. And I went to, his house.
That's awesome. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I'm sure he was probably like, all right, like, it's a little awkward you just showed up at my house, but obviously you care enough to have gone to these lengths to come and find me. So it would have been kind of shitty if he was just like, get out of here.
I didn't feel like I'd really get a feel for him on the phone. Like, I wanted to see this guy in person. You know what I mean?
And he invited you in and was like, all right,
Yeah.
I'll show you some shit.
Yeah. He showed me his workshop. He told me about the Del Mar Scream Zone that he was working on in San Diego. It was the first year of the Scream Zone. And he was the main makeup artist. He didn't really have anybody else. The last person that he was working with, he fired. He fires people left and right. But he had me and another person that he ended up firing. And he couldn't fire me because I was a volunteer. He wasn't even paying me. I just wanted to be there. So I was, still doing makeup application and stuff like that. Stuff that, I had proved to him that I can do. But it went really well.
That's awesome.
And the Scream Zone became a big, big deal for Del Mar. Yeah.
That is so cool.
Mm-hmm.
So that was your first actual lesson, like in person, rather than you trying to teach yourself. That was your lesson into it. So did he start with like simpler things to kind of say, okay, from the beginning, without you having any of this other knowledge of how to do all this extreme stuff, I'll show you where to start at the beginning? Or did he just kind of throw you into the fire and be like, you're going to make a prosthetic nose or something like
Somewhere in the middle.
that? Okay.
Like on day one, he wasn't teaching me how to apply prosthetics or to make prosthetics, but he expected me to be able to sculpt. And I was like, never tried. Let's do it. And I was really good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank goodness, because he'd be like, you're trash, get out of here.
I know, right? That would have sucked.
That would have sucked.
But I had some clay and somebody's mold and just created a very scary clown-looking mask on it. And, it was clunky and stuff like that. You'd never actually run a mold of it. But it was fun to just learn how to sculpt.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's fucking great.
But then he'd just kind of pepper stuff in. He'd be like, okay, this is how you apply a prosthetic. Okay, this is how you run a prosthetic. This type of foam is used for this, this, and this. And, oh, you do silicone when you're doing that. And yeah.
Did you take a bunch of notes? Were you like writing it all down, or did you just like
Back
have it
then
in
I
mind?
had a very good memory and I remembered everything.
That's awesome.
I think I also remember it, and other useless Hollywood trivia and horror movie stuff is because that's what I'm passionate about.
Sure.
It's easy to remember that shit.
I totally understand. If it's something I'm interested into, it seems to stick.
Today was day 3 of my new job, and I'm just like, have I ever been here before?
You'll get it. Don't worry.
Yeah, they're like, put you in the captain chair. I'm like, no, I like sitting next to you, watching you do it.
But yeah, when you are passionate about something, it's definitely more of a rewarding experience. So you want to know. So you want to remember. So it's like downloads easier into your mind. And that's really cool that you got to learn so many different details and so many things through this guy. So how long did you end up like mentoring underneath him?
Probably about 2 years, I'd say. And then I moved back to Los Angeles.
Okay. But you moved to LA with this knowledge now.
Yes.
Okay. So what did you do with that at that point?
I started to... I had a friend who was going to AFI, the American Film Institute, in LA, and she was going for producing. She wanted to be a producer. So as a producer in that program, she had to produce a lot of student films. And she's a really good friend of mine. She's like, hey, do you think you could do this? And I'm like, of course. She's like, okay, this guy's been crawling through the desert for 5 days, like crawling. I need his fingernails to come off. Can we pull his fingernails off? Can we pull his fingernails off? It's like, fuck yeah, we can pull his fingernails off. We can pull his toenails off. You tell me what you want, we'll pull it off.
Had you ever made fingernails come off? But you knew because of the toolbox of knowledge that you had that you could figure it out.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
How'd you do with the fingernail?
Oh, it was fucking amazing. People were grossed out. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, people were grossed out.
That's awesome.
That's what, like, for me, that's a job well done. If people are grossed out, made sick, scared, totally a success for me.
That's fucking great. Cool. So now that you're doing that with her, now you have something to put on your resume. So you're like, I have worked on these things. Check it out. Here's this fucking fingernail. Obviously, I know what I'm talking about. So at that point, did you put yourself out as far as like, applying for like legitimate movies?
I
Or
put
where'd you go
myself
from
out
there?
for applying for legitimate schools of makeup. I wanted to go. There's a Tom Savini School of Makeup in Pennsylvania that I really wanted to go to,
Oh my
but
God, that's amazing.
yeah, I just never got the. I didn't have the drive like other people do to like you can follow your dreams. I was like, I don't even know what a dream is. I don't know what a dream is. And they're like, oh, if you're passionate about something, that's what you should do for a living. And I was like, I don't know anybody like that. People can make money doing something they like. What? So
Well, yeah, but you already did get your foot into that industry.
yeah,
But you just didn't have the faith in yourself to be able to follow through with it? Or you didn't think
no,
it would be a lucrative career in the end? Like,
no,
what
no.
held you
I
back?
wasn't. I thought I'd be great, but I just wasn't. Um, I didn't have the energy at the time to like find a way to do it. Like to find a way to get the money to go to the school, to get the education, to move into doing it professionally and having a great
It was a whole
portfolio.
thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you just said, hey, I'm already in LA. I have these skills. I'm just going to see what I can do while I'm here,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. I think it would have been awesome if you like pushed it to the limit and went to that
I
school.
wish I had. I wish I had.
That's fair.
In some other life, I know I did, and it was great.
That's awesome. And you know what? You still could.
Yeah.
If
never
you
know.
wanted to, you absolutely still could if
That's
that's
right.
something that you really wanted to do. But, at least you were there in LA, which is the like heart
Mm-hmm.
of the industry. So even though LA has its, pros and cons, of course,
Mm-hmm.
living out there, that is really cool that you got to be there in a place where this industry is appreciated.
Yeah, like I wasn't living in, Muskogee, Iowa or something like
Yeah,
that.
and you're trying to do horror makeup where
Yeah.
they're like, we don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you'll have to order that online.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
No,
there was none of
that's pretty cool. So, what did you end up doing after helping with that film? What was the next step that you took in the industry?
I started to look for places to work that dealt in makeup, and I got a job at a place called Real Creations, and they do the fake tattoos that you put on and activate with alcohol. So they're alcohol based; they won't wash off. You can like take them off with alcohol, so they last a really long time. You just do touch ups with a little paint pen, basically.
Oh, cool.
So it's a tattoo pen and sheets. We screen print sheets of tattoos. So he had books upon books upon books of different tattoos. He had a shit ton of books. It was Fred Blau. He had a shit ton of books who did the early Planet of the Apes series. Fred Blau had books upon books upon books of movies that had all the tattoos in them and like tons of sheets and copies and stuff like
Cool.
that. So like any, the P on Johnny Depp's hand in Pirates of the Caribbean is probably a Real Creations tattoo.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. That's neat that you got to work with
So
that.
yeah, so I tried to find jobs like that, and then I had somebody call me from San Diego, and he's like, "Hey, I found your website," and I was like, "Oh, I'm glad somebody could. I couldn't even find my website. I could not find my website. Yeah, seriously. After I talked to him, I was like, I'm gonna see if I can find my website. Have no idea.
You put in the web address and it didn't come up?
I didn't even know what the web address was. I had made it while I was in San Diego. I was in Los Angeles. It was several years later. It was on GeoCities. That's how old it was. It was fucking old. And just a couple years later, he's like, "Oh, I found your website." And I was like, "Oh, I didn't even know it was still active. Okay." And he's like, "Are you still in San Diego?" And I was like, "Unfortunately, no, but what's the project?" And he told me he and a few friends and an actor and an actress are filming a independent film in San Diego, and they need a makeup artist. And the project would last like a week or whatever it was. And
You had to ask Jeeves to find it.
yeah, right. Asked anyway. So yeah, fuck. What was I talking about?
About the being asked to do the project in San Diego.
Oh, that's right. So I went to work to see if I could get a week of work off, and they were like, "No, absolutely not." So I said, Hakuna Matata, bitches, and I quit.
Yeah.
I didn't fucking like that job anyway. So I quit and I drove down to San Diego and did the Paranormal Activity with all the fun people. And we just hung out in underwear and sleeping clothes, and we got bloody. And
You were in your underwear also?
Well, I was in like my sleeping attire most of the time.
Really? You guys filmed that in your pajamas?
Pretty much. Pretty much.
So
Because we were
funny.
sleeping odd hours and getting up at odd hours, and we'd be like waking them up and stuff like that, making it so that they can't get a good night's sleep. And I was like, well, that means I'm not getting a fucking good night's sleep because I got to wake up and go bang on the wall.
Wait, you were doing that to the actors?
Yes.
To keep them on edge?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Did they know that that was part of the deal of what was going to happen? Did they agree
No.
to that?
No. No.
So they were pissed off.
No.
Really? Okay,
No.
I'd be like, get the fuck out of my face.
They'd either be startled awake or they'd be like, did I just hear something? But they never, they're filming this scary movie. They're already on, on this edge being an actor.
Okay.
And so it didn't take much to like startle them and stuff like that. So just trying to keep this mood spooky.
Oh, that's so funny. So how many people were on the crew?
Like 6.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you got hired for the award-winning Paranormal Activity because this guy happened to find your website that you didn't even know
That
was
I
still
couldn't even
there.
find. Yeah.
Holy shit. And on your website, you had some examples of some of the work that you had done?
Yes.
And that was all it took. It
Yep.
was like you're hired and you quit your job.
Yep.
And you went down there
You know
thinking
what
it was like a little independent.
Oh, it totally
movie.
was a little independent. You know what was on my website?
Huh.
One of the tattoos from Real Creations, and it was a yin yang with fire and water, like a big wave
sure,
and fire. And I painted that with the inks, the tattoo inks, and people were so impressed by it, like they really thought it was a tattoo, and it was beautiful. I probably still have a picture of it somewhere, but yeah, I did that, and then I had a fork that I would clip the 4 prongs off of, like maybe 1/4 of an inch in, put it down, put latex, layers and layers and layers of latex around it while it's against like a desk or whatever, and then peel it off. And so the latex had a flat surface, but was also holding onto the fork.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you just glue that to your forehead, do a little bit of blood, and it looks like you got stabbed in the head with a fork.
Fantastic. That's awesome.
I was painting them, spray painting them metallic silver, so they look like real forks. So they look like they have some weight and heft to them.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's like 2 things that were in my portfolio.
And he was like, you can totally do this.
He was like, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You got hired for that. I'm glad that you took that gig because who would have known at that time that Paranormal Activity blew the
It's like
fuck
a
up.
multi-billion-dollar franchise with like 7 fucking sequels over 10
Yeah,
years or something.
they did so many sequels.
Uh-huh.
It's super intense. We've been meaning to watch it and have you do behind-the-scenes commentary.
Yes.
I would love to do a follow-up episode to that sometime. I need to find out what the legal deal is about showing a film live on Twitch.
Yeah.
I'm not positive how that works, but
Right.
we'll look into that, and that would be really cool to have, like, behind-the-scenes commentary.
Yeah.
I think that would be fantastic.
Or like, what was it? The Netflix party?
oh, yeah, we
Yeah.
could do the, teleparty.
Yeah,
or whatever.
teleparty, totally.
Yeah, we could that would be awesome. That would be really, really
That
fun.
would be really fun.
So yeah, maybe we'll arrange that because I'd love to hear some of the little quirky, fun stuff. I mean, it's a scary fucking movie. It's really spooky. Like I don't get spooked very often with movies. There's certain subject matter, as we talked about, like that gets me. Ghosty stuff can get me sometimes, but for the most part, I'm just watching and I'm like a little on edge, but it doesn't actually scare me.
Right.
That movie, the way that the mood was set up in that one, it was fucking scary, dude.
Yeah.
It really was. So you guys nailed it. It's super fucking spooky.
I watched it so many times that I was jaded by the time we got to the final product. So I didn't find it spooky at all. but that's what happens when we actually work on a
Yeah.
film.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that made me go, okay, Paranormal Activity blew up like a motherfucker. I've had my 15 minutes of fame. You know, I've got my name on IMDb. I'm great. I can move on to something else. Because to actually make those movies, you don't get to enjoy them like we enjoy watching a movie. Because you've seen everything, you know what's going to happen, you know everything about it. So how can you sit there in a theater and watch it like it's the first time?
Yeah, no, for sure.
And I love that movie experience so much that I didn't want to ruin that. I didn't want to be a makeup artist and make great movies because I was like, oh man, it's not great to me. It's just a movie I worked on.
Damn.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
But how fun that you got to be a part of something and not even thinking that it was going to be blown up, and in fact it did.
I've done many independent films, and
okay, which brings me
backed by many rich people.
Look at Roxy, look how cute she is. I just peeped Crystal's IMDb and now I'm mad it ain't getting autograph all over. That's so awesome. Well, when you come back,
I'll totally give you yes for sure.
And this is from a famous musician saying that, so you guys can do tradesies.
That's true. Oh, God, we should just get our posses together and just, like, walk somewhere. Have all these people walking around us and, like...
Like an entourage.
Yeah, and then, like, other people will be like, who is that? And start taking pictures of us because they don't know what's going on.
Oh, my God, it's Roxy Gunn and...
Oh, my God, is that Crystal Gunn? Is that Gypsy Danger?
Yeah, totally.
Is that Crystal Effects?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. It's really cool that you've done some, like, super badass shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of you for being able to pull that kind of shit together.
Yeah.
Like, to be taken seriously for something that you really wanted to be a part of. It's so rad.
You know how there's Sundance? Where they bring all the independent films and everybody watches them and they get bought and sent out and all this stuff?
Yeah.
There's also Slam Dance that goes on at the same time. It's another movie festival, but it's for, actual small budget movies, not like, oh, my small budget is $15 million. Those are the Sundance movies. Slam Dance is like, I put this together for $50,000 in my grandmother's basement. Like, nah. And it's scary as fuck. And people would go into, like, bidding wars. Like,
Really?
Yeah. All the major studios would go into bidding wars or, networks or whatever it was. And, most of them get picked up. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah. I went to Slam Dance, which is literally right down the street from Sundance. So we like to go in and fuck with all the Sundance people. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Just all you have to do is walk up the street and they're like, oh, you're here for Slam Dance, aren't you? Yeah.
So speaking of low budget films.
Yes.
Okay. Let's talk about low budget films.
Oh.
If any of you guys out there are knowledgeable about trauma movies, it's kind of a niche kind of thing. So you guys maybe heard of Toxic Avenger. That's like the most famous.
That's the famous
trauma one. But Trauma Team has done, God, I don't even know. I don't even know how many movies.
Hundreds.
And they range in budget vastly.
Oh, yeah.
I have Toxie's top 10. It's like 10 trauma movies, and the Toxic Avenger's not in it, but it's like,
yeah, his
Toxie's favorite. And I got to tell you, man, they range from the worst movie I've ever seen with like a boom mic, like coming down, and it's so fucking bad, to like actual, like pretty reasonable quality. It's like each movie, it just kind of depends on the budget and what they have to work with. But trauma films, it's super campy horror shit.
Chopper Chicks in Zombie Town, by the way, has a young Billy Bob Thornton in it. Check it out.
No shit.
Yeah.
My personal favorite is Space Zombie Bingo.
Oh.
Have you seen Space Zombie Bingo?
No.
You haven't seen Space Zombie Bingo?
No.
We are it's in the Toxie's top 10. Toxie's top 10.
Okay.
We are absolutely going to watch this.
Well,
It
then
is my
I'm getting
fucking
Chopper
favorite.
Chicks in Zombie Town, and we're going to have a marathon.
100%.
Yes.
100%. It is so ridiculous. It's one where they were making it campy and ridiculous on purpose.
Yes.
Which makes it more fun, because sometimes when they're trying to be serious, like there was the Curse of the Cannibal Confederates, and it's so fucking bad. It's so fucking bad because they're trying to be all serious, and it's not. But with Space Zombie Bingo, the space zombies are wearing wetsuits with flippers,
Nice.
a welding helmet,
Nice.
and dinglebobs. And they start coming into the cemetery in the first scene, and they're like, pew, pew, pew. It's these little lasers, and you're like, oh, man, this is going to be fucking good. It's very low budget, and it's shitty, but because they know that, and they're making it funny, it makes it totally worth it.
Yeah.
It is so fucking funny. I've watched it on mushrooms and acid before, and it's so, like, your cheeks hurt so bad because it's so fucking funny.
Oh.
There's even one part where they're pulling these bodies out of these graves, and they're obviously mannequins, and they're like, those are not mannequins we're pulling out, those are actual bodies. Like, they're calling it out. So it's so fun. So trauma movies are absolutely fucking fantastic. Please check them out. Crystal here had the luxury and privilege of working on what I would probably consider one of the worst trauma movies of all time.
Lloyd Kaufman himself,
who's the father of trauma,
says in the commentary, it is the worst film he's ever made.
And he's not lying.
And he's not lying.
It's really bad.
It's called Julie Strain's Tales from the Crapper. Now, I don't know who Julie Strain was. Probably a stripper, porn star, who knows.
I'm voting porn star.
I'm voting porn star.
Big time.
He just gave her some money and was like, oh, go ahead, go make me a movie for whatever reason. And whatever footage she sent back, which wasn't much, was just unwatchable. It was stupid. It's the first half with, like, the praying mantis lady alien thing. Okay, you don't remember.
We watched it a while ago. I don't remember the details of it. We should rewatch it for sure.
Oh, God, no, please.
She actually gave me her copy because she's like, I don't even fucking want it. And there was a poster that was signed by the chick.
Yes.
And I was like, Crystal, you don't want it? You worked on the movie. She's like, I don't even fucking want it. Put it in your horror collection. Like, you can just have it. So I have it up on the fucking wall of the horror room. Julie Strain was a port model famous in the 80s and early 90s.
Interesting.
Thank you.
Oh, do you mean sports model?
I was like, a port model.
I don't know what a port model is. Maybe she just hangs out at the beach or something?
I don't know. But thank you for that. I appreciate that. Okay, so we've already established that this movie is fucking horrible. How did you get hired for this movie?
Honestly, I don't even remember. Oh! I just remembered. Honestly.
The light bulb went bing!
A friend of mine was a traumette for a good long time. And I think she got me in on the movie.
Okay.
So she's just one of the girls that stands in the background in like a trauma bra, basically, and just screams and has blood squirted on her and stuff like that. That's what the traumettes
Fantastic.
do.
Okay.
So I think she hooked me up with the job. I worked on some props and stuff from home. And Lloyd Kaufman came and was taking behind-the-scenes footage and stuff like that. And then we shot on set, and our set was actually the Traumaville house. They had a Traumaville house they still have one in New York. And it's basically where all of their production comes out of. It's like
cool.
Everybody in the trauma land doesn't live there, but they all work there. And sometimes they shoot there, whatever.
So they flew you out to do
No,
the job
they
out there?
opened one in Los Angeles.
Oh.
So Los Angeles started producing some of the trauma movies. And so there was a New York crew now stationed in Los Angeles and, running the movies and stuff. But, and trauma is pretty much popular. It's like, counterculture extreme. And when I was working on this film, we were filming upstairs. And downstairs, they were actually having a fundraiser party for a different film. And so famous people that were there, like Wes Craven was there. I didn't get to meet him, but he was there. And then Trey Parker showed up.
Fucking love Trey Parker so hard, dude.
It starts going around the room. Trey Parker's downstairs. What? Trey Parker's downstairs. Who? Trey Parker. He's downstairs. And I didn't see him because I was so busy upstairs. I was drinking what I thought was just Red Bull. The party downstairs, they were serving vodka Red Bulls. And whoever kept bringing me drinks kept bringing me vodka Red Bulls. And I didn't know what Red Bull tasted like anyway. I was just tired. And someone's like, have a Red Bull. It keeps you going. I was like, all right. So I had one, and I felt like a little woo afterwards, but I was like, oh, that's fun. Okay, I'll have another one. So I ended up drinking like 4 Red Cup fucking vodka
you're
Red
not a
Bulls.
drinker.
And I am not a drinker. And I hate Red Bull. And I will never drink either vodka or Red Bull ever again.
So you're drunk.
Yeah.
Not at the party. You're upstairs working on stuff.
Drunk and
while
working.
While there's a fucking party
going on downstairs.
God damn, that sucks. You guys weren't invited. They weren't like, hey, you need to stop working and come to the fucking party.
Oh, no.
That's bullshit. You should have gone to the party.
Oh, well, I went downstairs a couple times, but nobody famous was there. I just went down. I was like, this is lame. Go back upstairs because, you know, we eventually got a break.
Okay, so now you're drunk. Mm-hmm. And Trey Parker is there.
Trey Parker is there. Oh, I should go back. One of the stars of our half of the movie, Julie Strain did like half of the movie. We got a budget, did another half of the movie. Totally unrelated story. And he was the crap keeper. So...
This is too much, dude.
Tales from the Crapper. He's the crap keeper. All he did was put on a trash bag. He put holes in a trash bag and wore it. And he's the crap keeper, everybody. Yeah, he's the king of low budget, dude. Low budget. So much low budget.
That's the lowest.
This is the lowest of budgets.
It even costs more for a welding helmet for the fucking space zombies than a fucking
trash bag.
You know who
came out of Trauma, New York? James Gunn. James Gunn, the director of Guardians of the Galaxy. He's done a lot of amazing stuff.
Okay.
And he came out of the Tromaville house.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there are some legit people that came out of there.
Sure.
But it's very much guerrilla filmmaking. And we didn't have the time or the budget to, like, wait until there's no party. We used it. We had people go down there shooting B-roll, saying, yeah, we're going to use this. And we ended up using it.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So... We're making our movie upstairs. One of the lead actors is Ted Raimi. Sam Raimi's brother. Sam Raimi, the director of Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness. So Ted Raimi was there as one of the stars of the film, and I had a huge crush on him. Probably because I was a big fan of Joxer on Xena, and he played Joxer on Xena, and Bruce Campbell played Autolycus on Xena, and because Sam Raimi and... pretty much the whole crew from Evil Dead worked on
interesting.
Xena.
Huh.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
she's actually married one of the producers.
Really?
I can't remember his name right now for some reason. He's the redheaded one.
But he was in that film. That's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how he felt about doing such a fantastic film.
He was fun. He was up for anything. He was just like, he was friends with people there. He was kind of seeing one of the Tromettes. Fun thing for me was they had already put the prop together, but I had to put it on him and dress it. It was basically a rubber chicken that somebody shoves up his ass to kill him. So he's got the front of this rubber chicken coming out of where his thingy would be. Can I say that on air?
Yeah, you can say whatever you want.
I can say thingy? Okay.
Yeah.
And coming out of the back is the back half of the chicken. So apparently this much of the chicken doesn't exist because this is the top and this is the bottom. So I had to do put it on him. So I'm kneeling in front of him with this literal cock staring at me, trying to adjust his pants and like zip the zipper up halfway and do all this stuff. And then I had to dress it, which was with industrial strength slime, which you never want to touch ever, ever, ever. It was the slime from Ghostbusters.
The pink slime?
No, not the pink slime. When they're going through the library at the very beginning, he's like, somebody blows their nose and you want to keep it. That kind of slime, and he got it on himself.
Yeah.
And then he rubs it on the books and shit. I'm telling you, that stuff doesn't come off. It's insane. You do not want that on you.
Okay.
Oh, and Aliens, they did it in Aliens as well, when they're like,
yeah. Okay. So you're sliming the chicken.
So I'm sliming the chicken, kneeling in front of him, and it like won't stay. It keeps like dropping off. It's like, ugh. And I'm like, no, we need it stringy. We need it to stay. So it looks like I'm just fiddling with this cock for like fucking half an hour. And I'm like, I just want the slime to stay. I want to go home. And then I had to make poop for the other half of the chicken.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
It came shooting out of his butt.
What'd you use for poop?
Hershey syrup, a little bit of oatmeal, and
corn.
And corn.
There was corn.
Canned corn.
I was just joking.
Canned corn.
Oh, that's great. I'm loving it. Oh my god, dude, Lady's loving it too. She's fucking loving this shit. And Roxy is dying laughing right now. We're sliming the chicken over here. Okay, so you pooped the chicken.
So then we poop the chicken. He dies. And a little later on in the night, when the Trey Parker rumor came about.
Oh my god, I'm so excited about the Trey Parker
And
story.
I'm completely hammered. Somebody convinced him to come upstairs and be in the movie. They said he could tell the Aristocrats joke, and that's what got him upstairs. The Aristocrats joke, there's a whole movie based on it, and it's not like a movie, it's a documentary. And it's all the different comedians and how they tell their version of the Aristocrats joke.
I've heard about this, but I've never actually heard the joke. But I heard that it's really fucked
the
up.
crassest thing you've ever heard.
Okay.
Yeah.
But-
I won't even attempt it. You should just look it up and
Okay.
watch someone do it.
Okay.
And everybody's version is a little bit different.
But they wanted him to do that in the movie because
Yeah.
they're like,
They were
"Why
like,
you gonna do it?" Okay.
you could go ahead and do whatever you want. He was like, I'm going
You're
to
like,
do
you're
the
Trey
Aristocrats.
Parker. You can literally
Yeah.
do anything you want.
Yeah.
So he was
"We'll
like,
just get you
"It's
upstairs,
gonna be in
dude."
your movie,"
Uh-huh.
and he's like, "In there."
Came
Okay.
up upstairs, and we were like, it won't take long. It won't take long. We just need to explode your head. Just stand up against the wall. You say some stuff. We'll explode your head. You can go home. So trauma heads are made from watermelons. You basically skin it, hollow it out, fill it with cheeseburger, raw or cooked, doesn't matter. Caro syrup, red color,
Food coloring.
food coloring, something like that. And yeah, some Sprite and stuff like that. So you get the fizziness
Okay.
from the brains, because when you punch a head, it gets really fizzy
Naturally.
naturally.
Of course. Okay.
So then we have a dummy. We shoot up until this point. He's going through the Aristocrats joke, and we shoot up until this point, and then we have him leave. We put a body mannequin where he was. Probably it wasn't even dressed the same. I don't remember. But we put a mannequin where he was and just balanced the watermelon on top of it. And then they shoot, and somebody's like, like all the way down the wall. And the director's just like, keep going, keep going, keep going. And I was like, there's nothing left to punch out. What is he saying? So,
Oh my god.
yeah, so they just cut it together where it's like, and it's not even, you still see like the barest minimum of a watermelon face when you watch him like hit the face. You can still see the watermelon before he hits it.
I gotta rewatch.
Oh
this
my
and see this
god,
fucking
dude.
clip.
And I can't remember, but I think we may have Sharpied like eyes and a little nose and a smile on it.
That's classy as fuck, dude.
It was so hype. It was so amazing.
Oh my god. So
It
was
totally
he excited about it?
It totally overshadows my makeup in Paranormal Activity, which made Steven Spielberg turn off his TV and watch it the next day. He couldn't finish it at night. Yeah, that's what I heard at Slam Dance.
Ooh.
That he was one of the people looking at it to see if he wanted to buy it. And he was like, I can't watch this during the night by myself. I have to turn it off. And he finished it during the day.
Goodness.
Yeah, and it was right after the zombie bite. Not the zombie bite, the demon bite.
Shit.
The demon bite. That was my biggest piece of makeup on the movie. Was this huge red bite mark on Katie's side. Yeah. Yeah.
So, for the trauma thing that you did, that sounds really fun. Doing the watermelon thing. That sounds fucking fantastic.
It was really fun.
Did Trey just love it?
Oh, yeah.
Because he's so campy. He's so ridiculous.
Oh, for sure.
He sounds like the coolest guy
Yeah.
of all time.
Oh, he was
I just
totally
wanna
doing
hang
a
out with him
character.
so
Yeah.
hard.
He wasn't doing it as Trey Parker. Like, he was a nice guy. He was great. But, like, when he's doing there, he's, like, holding a can, and he's acting like a drunk surfer guy, and I'm just kind of like, all right, yeah, let's do this. Let's shoot. Let's do it.
Did he watch the whole head exploding, head punching?
Oh, yeah, he was
thing?
standing there
He
when
was
it happened.
loving it?
Because it's not like we had many of them, so we only did it once.
Gotcha.
So,
That's so fucking awesome.
yeah.
And then I know that somehow, I don't know how it happened, but I know that he ended up making you into a South Park character.
Yes.
Tell me the story of how did you get from exploding his head to you being the Cockmaster?
I wish I remembered. God, I wish I still had that picture.
Me too.
So Trey Parker and I started talking because he was interested in the watermelon thing. So I was doing the watermelon thing and he was watching, and really everybody else was just either working or doing something else. So it was just him and I chatting. And because I was in the bathroom in, the bathtub with all these watermelons and stuff in them and shit like that. So he came back and was like, "Oh, this is so cool, blah, blah, blah. Is this what you get to do? Oh, man, I'm in the wrong business, blah, 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 blah." And I don't think he was there during the scene, but somebody had told him that I'm the Cockmaster from
doing the
slime
chicken.
on the chicken.
Oh my god!
So somebody had called me Cockmaster, and he came in and was asking me, "What's this Cockmaster business?" And I told him about the slime and that I had this thing for Ted Raimi at the time and blah blah blah. And he's like, "That's the funniest thing I've ever heard." He's like, "All right, Cockmaster, check you later." So probably doesn't even remember my name. I don't remember.
You're Cockmaster.
I'm just Cockmaster. Cockmaster Crystal. Forget Gypsy Danger. You're ready for Cockmaster Crystal.
Yeah, you should change your Twitch handle to Cockmaster Crystal.
Should change my FetLife profile to Cockmaster Crystal. Fucking A. So, I don't even remember. I know we talked for a good amount of time, and then we exploded his head, but I was so drunk I can't really remember anything else. So I was fucking drunk on vodka Red Bulls, and by the third one I knew I was drunk, but I had been pounding them fast.
But then you're drunk, so you didn't even care at that point.
Oh no, I was like, I'm gonna throw this up any second. This is gonna totally exit my body. I don't care. Yeah. So I don't remember what we talked about, but he left and apparently made me into a South Park character. If I can remember the year that we made the Trauma movie and sync it up with the season that they were doing at the time, not COVID. I think we could go back and find the episode.
Tony, Crystal will always be the Cockmaster to me.
Goddamn right I will. Better be resting.
Roxy's dying right now. She's dead.
One way or another, it's got to exit my body. Even if they have to perform an exorcism.
Oh my god.
Okay.
So do you still have his email or anything?
I didn't get a number or anything. It was just we hung out, we talked. But he probably didn't even remember my name.
I thought you had told me that he had sent you an email with the character in it.
Yes. Somebody found me through Trauma and through mutual friends sent it to me.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Dude, look at you. You're the Cockmaster."
Yeah. Yeah. And at the time he did glasses. I had my hair up in a red ponytail. He did red ponytail. Yeah.
I wonder if there was more than one Cockmaster, because I remember it was way back in the day, but it was so funny. It stuck out to me. Like, I remember there being Cockmaster shirt person on South Park.
Then you remember me.
Like, it really, stood out.
That's me.
It was a million moons ago. I mean, it's so fucking funny, dude. It's so funny.
I'm the one, the only.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That is so awesome. I hope you get to meet him again. You're like, "I'm the Cockmaster!"
I'm the Cockmaster! He'll be like, "Lady, you're not the first time to tell me that."
Oh, season 8. Oh, really? Ooh. Roxy, you did research. She's the coolest mod of all time. Really.
Good job.
You know, I had tried to search for it a couple years ago after you told me. I did some image searches and everything, and I was like, "South Park Cockmaster," and I couldn't pull up. It was not pulling up what I wanted it to. But if
I can't find it online. I can't find it online at all.
So that means we just have to do like a South Park marathon and look for it.
Yeah.
But if Roxy is correct,
season 8,
we just have to watch season 8.
Yep.
And we're gonna find you and be like, "That's me. I'm the Cockmaster."
I don't need proof. I am the Cockmaster.
You are.
I ain't gotta watch shit.
That is so fucking funny. I love that. That is such a fun story. So they ended up putting that in the movie. They ended up putting his aristocrat joke in the fucking movie.
So that's what he's saying when somebody comes in and bursts his head. Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Oh,
You should have seen the crappy blonde wig we had on top of it. Didn't look like him at all, but we had to put a wig on.
Well, it's trauma. You can get away with that shit.
Yeah,
you know?
we were
You
just lucky
kinda
it was
slap
like
shit
close
together.
to the same color. Like it wasn't a black wig on a like watermelon.
That would have been
after
even
Trey
funnier
walks away.
That
That would have been amazing. You're right.
God, that's so fucking funny. You know, because with something like that low budget and that like blatantly shitty,
Mm-hmm.
like you can get away with drawing on a watermelon with a Sharpie, eyes and a nose, and we're laughing about it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when people try to get too serious, like I was saying, the fucking Cannibal Confederates. I was like, oh my God, you guys, this is so, like, you're killing me. And it took them like 45 minutes to get to any of the cannibals.
No.
They were trying to do this like build up and this backstory, but it was so horrible. I'm not watching it for the backstory. It's a shitty fucking movie.
Yeah.
Just roll with the fact that it's shitty.
Yeah.
Make it ridiculous.
Yeah.
Then I will appreciate it.
Why
Finally.
are you even attempting to have a real plot?
Yes,
This
yeah.
is like porno
Yes.
for like
Exactly.
Yeah, we don't go for the storyline. We go,
100%.
Yeah.
And then finally, when the Cannibal Confederates come up, I'm like, oh my God, I just kind of want to fast forward it just to fucking get to the goddamn Cannibal Confederates. And it looked like they just like bought clothes at the thrift shop and just kind of like sliced them up a little bit and slapped a little bit of like dirt on people's faces and made them like, oh, with the microphone coming down. I was like, this sucks. Like, if you were trying to make it silly, it would have been that much better. So I love the fact that you actually did get to work on a movie that is like, this is the most ridiculous thing ever, and we're just rolling with it. And I love that kind of shit. I mean, shit, you were here when we watched Attack of the Killer Donuts for the first time.
Yes.
I fucking love that movie. It is so much fun because it's like a reasonable budget considering like it's not that bad. It's not like actual like B- or anything like that. But it's so silly.
What was the one with the chair or the couch?
Oh, the Killer Sofa.
Killer Sofa.
Killer Sofa.
Yeah.
Killer Sofa had some really great points, but that was one where they tried a little bit too hard to make the plot sound serious. And you're like, I just want to see the Killer Sofa, and it's not even a sofa; it's a lazy boy.
Yeah.
So it's like, we're like, that's not even a sofa. Like, what are you doing?
What did I say? I came up with something in Lazy Boy. Can't remember what it was. It'll come to me.
I don't remember. But yeah, I love all that shit. I love when it's just like so silly, and they're trying to make it
Lazy
silly.
Boy.
That would have been a more appropriate name. Oh, Killer Sofa it's ridiculous. Just saying, if we aren't going to do the Poltergeist Marathon, let's definitely have a... Oh, yeah, we've been talking about doing Poltergeist Marathon because Whitney has never seen it. Roxy has never seen it.
Really? The original?
Yes.
Oh, that's a good one.
So we're like, holy shit, we're going to do a teleparty and do that. Actually, me and Tavia just watched Poltergeist 2 like 2 nights ago.
We haven't
But I'll
talked
watch it
about,
a million fucking times.
We haven't talked about the most important thing. My favorite horror movies.
Oh, we're going to get there.
Oh, okay.
we're getting there. We're still talking about your experience.
My trauma experience.
Yes. Well, any of your experience. But I will say that I know that you had mentioned earlier about your work for haunted houses.
Yes.
Also.
Yes.
Which sounds so fun, and it has been
all in San Diego.
My dream, and I have not followed through on it, and it makes me very sad. I had a couple opportunities to do it, and I didn't fucking do it. I've always wanted to work behind the scenes for haunted house. Specifically, what I've wanted to do is to do set design. Like, I love making stuff look badass, and I thought it would be so fucking fun. The only issue is like to be an actor and do it, you have to work Friday and Saturday nights all throughout October. And and with my job, like, those are the money nights, and I'm not going to go make minimum wage when I can make a lot more. So I never ended up doing it, but I have always wanted to be a part of the crew that sets it up. But for you, did you do set design or did you just do makeup?
I got to do one room design the second year because they liked my idea, and I did a little stupid sketch because I wasn't a good drawer at the time. But I did a little sketch and just said, look, man, this is what I want. I want black and white striped walls at like weird angles. I want strobe lights. I want meat hooks with body parts dangling off them. I want them to be painted bloody, but not to have any actual liquid on it except water. What I want to do is have somebody come through here, or I would go through there, somebody in all black would go through before they hear the next group come in. They would get all of the body parts swinging in different directions and spray them down with water, so that when people are walking through, because of the strobe lights, and they're so they just
disoriented.
Yeah, disoriented from the body parts, flying everywhere, and they're getting slapped with like wet body parts that are painted with blood, and everybody's looking down to see if it's like on their shirt or on their jacket and stuff like that. People were getting nauseous in there because of the strobe lights and the body parts swinging, and the emergency exit was right as you exit that room. There was an emergency exit, or you go straight into another room. We had so many people going out the emergency exits to throw up. Yeah.
Good job. Yeah. Fucking awesome.
Yeah. Music to my ears.
That's cool that they let you do your idea.
Yeah.
That's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Do you also do makeup for the haunted houses, or were you an actress? Or
No. I did prosthetic appliance, painting. We didn't have just people with masks. We had full prosthetic makeup for zombies, teeth for the vampires, just anything. Like some guy had like his skull pried open and his brain hanging out. That was a prosthetic on a bald guy. Yeah, there was tons of stuff to do. That was like
so fun.
Professional quality. Yeah.
Did you get paid money for being a professional, or did they pay you shitty because a lot of times
I didn't get paid. I didn't get paid the first year. I was there strictly on a volunteer basis. Yeah. That's why I said he couldn't fire me, because I was going to show up anyway. I was a volunteer.
Fucking A.
Yeah.
Okay. But obviously you loved it and you learned a lot, so it was worth it to you. Yeah. That's so fun. Did that take a little bit of the magic away?
No.
Good, because you were talking about working on movie stuff.
But no, working behind the scenes at a haunted house, so much more fun than going to a haunted house. Because you're not the one getting scared, and you're the one like laughing, knowing what's coming up, and being like, "Oh, I can't wait till fuck that guy, yeah, got him good."
That's awesome. Yeah, that's so rad.
Yeah,
I love haunted houses. I really wanted to go this year.
Me too.
And wasn't able to pull it together. But shoot, maybe we can end up doing it Friday. We'll see. If
Dusty says he found the Cockmaster.
Shut up! You found the Cockmaster?
What is that? Is that what you messaged me earlier?
Hold on. Yeah, pull that shit up. Yo, you guys are gonna get to see the Cockmaster right now. This is fantastic.
Oh no!
That's not the one?
No.
That's a different Cockmaster?
Yes.
There's more than one Cockmaster. Holy shit.
No, because I had one
black, right?
I had one ponytail. It was in the back. I had a black shirt on, and in white it said Cockmaster, and I was wearing blue jeans and black shoes.
Dude, he loved Cockmaster so much he made a different Cockmaster.
That's crazy.
Okay, so now we need black shirt Cockmaster.
Yeah,
that was good. That was a good find.
It's like
but
a
you need to
background character too.
Cockmaster.
Yeah. Good job finding that.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Jesus.
Fucking Maud Love on that one.
No, this one is like totally background. I don't even know how long after, But yeah, good job.
Well, Roxy had a good point saying season 8, episode 8 would be a good place to start because the Crapper was released in September and episode 8 was released in October. So it was probably episode 8 or farther.
There's a second one with an orange shirt and black hair. There's a fucking Cockmaster slut over here just giving everybody Cockmaster privileges.
But you were the original Cockmaster.
That's true. That's true.
There wouldn't be all these Cockmasters if it wasn't Frieza. This is like your babies.
Maybe he didn't put it in the show. Maybe he just sent it to me. Maybe it was just a drawing of me for me.
Maybe. But maybe they ended up using Cockmaster because he's like, Cockmaster, that's the fucking best term ever.
He loved that, yeah.
This is somehow a result of use, even if it's not.
Oh, he still thinks about me.
He does. Oh, that's crazy. Well, the real Cockmaster, please stand up. So many damn Cockmasters.
I'm the official. I'm the OG Cockmaster.
OG Cockmaster. There you go.
OG Cockmaster.
That's right. Okay, so Haunted House.
Yes.
You did all that. That sounds like a really rewarding experience for you.
Oh, yeah.
To do that.
So much fun.
Super, super, super cool. So as far as like continuing to do projects for stuff like that, was that kind of it for you, or did you do a lot more of those? Because I know those are a lot of the main projects that you seem to have worked on. Was there any more movies or shows or anything that you actually did effects makeup for?
After Paranormal Activity, not really. After Paranormal Activity, I decided, we made the film in 2007. It didn't sell in 2007. It didn't come out until like maybe
2010, I think it was.
Something like that. Yeah. We had to wait for it to actually.
I was living in San Diego
come
at the time.
out.
2010.
That's funny. I was living in San Diego when the Blair Witch Project came out, and I watched that movie at the theater next to the Corvette Diner, and I was like, this is the fucking movie I should have made in high school. This is bullshit. I could have totally done this.
And then you did Paranormal
and then
Activity.
I did Paranormal Activity.
Same thing.
The exact same thing.
That's awesome.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Made that dream come true. Yes.
So maybe you didn't do any more effects makeup after that point, but you were an
did.
actress in some.
No.
Well, you were an extra in one of my favorite shows.
That's true. I did extra work.
Ever.
Yes.
She was in an episode of The X-Files with, what's his name? Pinkman.
Jesse Pinkman.
Jesse Pinkman. What's his real fuck? Aaron Paul.
Yes.
I love The X-Files. And I love him.
Yes.
And that was an awesome episode,
and
too.
The episode's about Sid Barrett from Pink Floyd.
It was about Sid Barrett?
The kid is obsessed with Sid Barrett. I had to tell the guy who's wearing the Sid Barrett shirt who Sid Barrett was.
Shut the fuck up.
No.
What the fuck are you talking about?
On one of the lunch breaks, we had tons of breaks in between filming. On one of the lunch breaks, you go into the catering area, and you're sitting down there with, like, everybody else. And I saw him with his shirt on, and I was like, oh, hey, Sid Barrett rocks on, man. I'm fucking big old Pink Floyd fan. Huge. And he's like, Sid Barrett was in Pink Floyd? And I was like, sit down.
Yeah. You need to sit down.
Sit down.
Education time.
Yeah. And I was telling him all about Pink Floyd and, Shine On You Crazy Diamond and making all these, like, distinctions. I'm like, you had to have done some research as, an actor. He's like, yeah, but it was just, about him being this, that, and the other thing. And I was like, he's so much more than that.
Oh, my God. It's Sid fucking Barrett.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, I can't say a lot of people, but many people that only know of Pink Floyd on the surface from, Another Brick in the Wall and Shine On You Crazy Diamond and whatever. Like, that's later Floyd after Sid Barrett was long gone. So I feel like the real Pink Floyd fans totally understand and respect what Sid Barrett brought to the table initially, and then the older folks that were actually into that shit back in the 60s when it was out. But as far as this young dude, he's like, I don't know. But you're right, as an actor, if that's part of your whole gig, you probably should at least look it up and find out.
Yeah.
But that's cool, you kind of schooled him on it though.
Just a little bit.
Good job. But that's so cool that you got to work.
And then Jesse Pinkman, I got him to say Freaky Deaky.
How'd you get him to say Freaky Deaky?
We were on set pretending it was lunch, and we had a break in between scenes. Excuse me. And he was over near me because he walks in behind me and behind the lead actor kid. And he's like, he's supposed to say something as he walks up to him and slaps him on the back. And he was saying something like, yo, weirdo, yo, freak, yo, he was doing lots of different takes. And I was sitting over here. He was at the end. I'm in the middle of the school bench. He was at the end of the school bench, and he was just kind of, zoning out. And Freaky Deaky was a big thing in my role-playing group. We came up with Freaky Deaky, we think. But, somebody said it once, it stuck with us, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yo, you should call him Freaky Deaky. And he laughed. And then he went and did it, and that was the cut that they used.
Awesome.
That they used. And then Freaky Deaky became popular, so now I don't say it anymore.
That's so funny. You're like, rock on. That's awesome. That's pretty cool.
I've made my mark in Hollywood.
You did.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting though that the actors are given the freedom to be able to like ad lib or change their lines a little bit. Like,
yeah.
Being outside of Hollywood and not participating in any of it, what I would imagine is they're like, this is what you're hired to do and say. These are the things that you say. It is written down in your script. You don't deviate from it because it's not your show. We've decided that this is how it goes.
It's rarely like that.
Really?
Rarely like that. Yeah. Like
Really?
most scripts are like, it's not something that you say verbatim. It's more like, this is where it should go. This is where it should lead you. These are the ideas that are coming through.
Really?
Yeah. So if you're like, yo, nerd, yo, asshole, yo, jerk, yo, weirdo, it's like, do whatever feels natural in that moment.
That's really pretty cool that
Yeah.
they give that freedom. Because I would think that when it's people's baby and they have millions of dollars invested in
It
something, they would be
depends.
super specific
It
about
depends.
exactly like.
Some
You don't want to
directors
say nerd because da 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 da, so you've got to say
Yeah.
weirdo or whatever. So I guess it does just depend on the director
Yeah.
and on the script writer, I guess. I would imagine that they
Well, if
probably
the
have
script
something to
writer
say.
wants their like every word's done, then they should fucking direct it because it's never gonna happen.
So it's the director that gives the freedom to,
Yes.
to the people,
Yes.
to the actors. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, that is super cool. I like that. It's something that I didn't really realize. I know there's certain things where ad-libbing is like just part of it, like on Reno 911, which is one of my fucking favorite things.
Pineapple
ever.
Express.
Oh
Half
my
of
God.
that whole movie was ad-libbed.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, there's writers, directors that do. Tarantino is very to the script.
Yes.
And you know what? I can totally understand why, because his
words are amazing.
He is the dialogue master of the
Yeah.
universe, and I bet he is very like serious and specific about like, no, like this is the
He is
way
a
I
little
want
OCD.
it done, and I could get that, but I think it's cool. I think it's cool either way. If the writer and director is like, no, man, this is my vision. Please, I'm paying you to just do the thing. Mm-hmm. But it's pretty cool too to have people like be able to be creative with it.
Right. Well, that's why
like that.
Tarantino writes, directs, produces his own movie. He gets in. He has or had Sally Menke, I think, passed away. He had his own editor that edited all of his films that he could sit with, trust. So that's like all of the aspects of a film that you have any creative control over: directing, writing, producing, and that's pretty much it.
Okay. So how did you even get that gig? How did you get like, hey, do you want to be in the background on the fucking X-Files?
No, you can sign up with extra agencies. And what you do is you go down there, they take your picture, they write down a list of stuff that you can do, like juggling or, knife throwing or whatever, and take your picture and just be like, okay, well, just call in every morning. And you would call first thing in the morning. You would listen to what it is they have available. That we're looking for 60 homeless people. And you had to wear your own clothes. You had to provide your own wardrobe most of the time.
Okay.
Most of the time. So I'd call up every morning, listen to whatever sound like it would pertain to me, because everybody's going to call at the same time. It's like trying to buy fucking tickets at Ticketmaster, dude. Like everybody's calling at the same time, because once you hear something that fits you, you're calling the main extras casting person. And it's like trying to win something on the radio. You're like, I need to get through, because there's 600 other people that look exactly like you that are going to go for the same job. So it's...
Gotcha. So you're chasing them down like a mofo. Mm-hmm. Wow. Mm-hmm. Wowee. Actually, Chris just mentioned, he's like, Tarantino expert here. He fucking loves that shit. And Roxy was saying that the complaint people had about The Hateful Eight is there was too much talking, and apparently they're not Quentin Tarantino fans.
Right.
It is dialogue-driven.
Have you
Films
seen a Tarantino
like that
movie?
that is
Have you
the
seen
best.
more than 10 minutes of a Tarantino movie?
God, Reservoir Dogs. Like the
Yes.
whole thing is talking, and then there's like a little slicing of a cop's ear off for a hot second. But like it's all about building this whole image, and a lot of that is done by the dialogue. Mm-hmm. So yeah, Quentin Tarantino, he's the fucking man.
He's the fucking man. He's a wordsmith.
So as far as doing extra work, what other kind of things did you do extra work in?
What other shows did I do extra work in? Oh, I don't. A lot of the shows like I didn't watch. I didn't know about. One was some sort of law show. I just remember being in a courtroom and dressing very nice and walking up and down the same hall. Like that's all I did was walk up and down the hall.
Right.
Walk down the hall and eat at catering truck. That's all I do on these fucking shows, man. It was sweet deal. You get like $50 for the day and free food. I was so into it.
That's cool. Yeah.
I was like 20 at the time. Maybe 22, 23.
That's cool. You got to be a part of the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But since you did theater when you were younger, did you have any interest in acting professionally or like getting into that aspect of the industry?
Well, I won an acting award in high school for best dramatic performance.
Awesome.
And this fucking play is like a monologue. It's like this woman, a stepmother, is called The Effects of Gamma Rays on Man in the Moon Marigolds. And it's about this.
Mouthful.
I know. I was like, you are not going to remember this, Crystal. And then it was there. It's about this woman and her two daughters. And one daughter is like really sweet and like respectful and does her homework and blah, blah, blah. And the other is just going down the highway to hell. She's like fucking around with boys and, you know, back talking and stuff like that. And pretty much they pop in and out, but almost the entire play is this woman talking to people on the phone. So you're getting like the entire story from her talking to people on the phone, talking to her daughters, talking to herself for all I can fucking remember. But it was like a 70-page monologue. Yeah.
And you were the mom?
And I was the mom.
You were able to remember that shit?
We had to cut the script down, not significantly, not enough for me, but we cut the script down a little bit.
Wow.
Yeah, that was intense. So I fucking deserved the reward. You know what my reward was? A gold-painted rock. Everybody previously got little plaques with little brass things on them.
You got a gold-painted rock.
I got a gold-painted rock. Fucking lame. I would still have that award if it wasn't a rock that I'd have to carry around with me everywhere since I move every year or two.
Fucking A.
Yeah.
That sucks. But you won.
But I won.
You won. I think that's awesome.
And then I went on to live in San Diego, and I got involved in community theater down there, and I won a award for comedy for that the play that I was telling you about, where I was trying to stuff the stuff into the cabinet and close it, but it kept popping open as I was walking off stage.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was the funniest thing that's ever happened to me, like having to do with acting, anything at all. And luckily, this was on opening night. This chest wouldn't stay closed, and it was my only cue was to close the chest, exit out the garden doors. And I'm stuffing like a soldier's uniform into this chest that has pillows, a racket, what's it called? Not baseball, but cricket. Had a cricket bat in it. And I couldn't get it to close for some reason. It always closed during rehearsal, always closed. But somebody shoved shit in there like so tight that I couldn't get it to close with the uniform in there. So I started like, I was fucking freaking out. This was the first time I was in front of a live audience in forever, you know. This was several years after school. And then I realized how much people were laughing and enjoying it. And because I was scared. I was like, they're going to get pissed at me. I'm taking too much time on stage. Somebody's waiting for their cue. And the audience was loving it.
So you camped it up a little bit and made it look
well,
like
I looked in the curtains to see the person who's supposed to come on next, and they're like doubled over laughing. And I was like, oh, well, they don't know when their cue is coming up. So yeah, I took the cricket bat. I was trying to shove stuff in there. I'd close it. I'd walk away. I'd turn around real quick. Finally got the fucking thing closed without hamming it up, and then took my exit. It was like at least a full minute before anybody came on the stage after that, because everybody was laughing.
That is so funny.
That was opening night, and that's when the critics were there. That's why I got an award. Because it's like all of San Diego Community Theater, I won that award.
Fantastic.
Yes.
You fucking nailed it.
Yeah, and that's when I went out. I went out on top. I've got an award for Best Dramatic, award for Best Comedian, then, you know, and then you retire. You go out on top.
Yeah, totally. Because it's all downhill.
It's all downhill. That's why I did Paranormal Activity and then left the makeup industry. I'm like, it's all downhill from here.
Hey, I can totally understand that.
Yep.
I respect that.
Yep.
That's fucking awesome.
Yep. When you got a dream, you do it. You don't have to like do it to the extreme.
No.
I don't have to be like a millionaire because I was an award-winning actress, but it was fun. The awards that I won, it's memorable. It's fun. I was just, happy to be there.
That's fucking great.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yes.
On the Tarantino tip, Chris had a really interesting fun fact about Quentin Tarantino. He's best friends with a group of writers and directors who trust one another. Those would be Kevin Smith, who I love with all of my fucking heart, and Robert Rodriguez, who is absolutely fucking fantastic as well. Before any of their films hit screenings, they show each other their film for advice and opinions.
That fucking makes so much sense.
That is awesome.
That makes so much sense.
I love the fact that they are all friends. That is so fucking cool, dude.
Grindhouse, one of my favorites.
Yeah.
So good. The extended versions of each movie,
Yeah.
so good.
Planet
so good.
Terror.
Planet Terror and Death Proof.
I liked Planet Terror substantially more than Death Proof.
Oh, everybody did. But I
Dude,
love
the machine gun leg and gonna eat your brain and gain your knowledge. Like,
Yes.
It's so good.
Yes.
It's so fucking good. I love it.
It's amazing.
And Roxy, I just want to actually completely agree with you. Reservoir Dogs and Inglourious Bastards are my favorites up until Inglourious Bastards came out. Reservoir Dogs is like one of my like top most favorite movies ever. And as
Yeah.
far as Quentin goes, fucking Reservoir Dogs is very dear to my heart. But once Inglourious Bastards came out, I gotta say, during that time, like new movies coming out, I was kind of like, okay, the style of movies is kind of changing a little bit, and like, okay, the new movies are good. There's a lot of CGI. I was just, I like the old stuff better.
Yeah.
And okay, new Quentin Tarantino, Inglourious Bastards sounds great. Brad Pitt's in it, love it. I feel like that is one of the absolute best movies that has come out since the fucking millennium change.
Absolutely.
It is such a fantastic movie on every single possible angle.
The first 10 minutes of that movie is pure cinematic gold.
Oh my God. It's so stressful.
Christoph Waltz
Fucking A with the
fucking
with
bursts
the milk.
on the scene with that shit.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it is super fucking intense. Like it starts off super tense, and then the pinnacle scene of burning down the theater with all of the Nazis and Hitler. Like, what could have been better? What could possibly have been better than that fucking scene,
That
dude?
would've been
And having
great.
it be Shoshana being the one to facilitate that. I think that is one of the most beautiful masterpieces in cinematic history, and I hope that it goes down in history as such forever.
Yes.
And as far as Quentin goes, I love all of his movies for various different reasons. And as much as I absolutely love Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction and all of that shit, and it's all like, they're all so amazing. Inglourious Bastards was in a completely different level that I feel like it's all downhill from here.
Yeah,
That one.
yeah.
Like, once you've
Don't
done
watch
that,
any more Quentin Tarantino
how can you
movies.
even go any farther than that? My goodness, dude. Oh, it's so good. Wait for the cream. Like, oh, God. So good. So, yeah, I just wanted to comment on that holy shit. So fucking good. So incredibly good. And if any of you out there are watching and you have not seen Inglourious Bastards, please.
Stop watching
for the love
this.
of
Go
God,
watch it.
You must watch that movie. It is brilliant. Masterpiece. Fucking masterpiece. So speaking of brilliant masterpieces, you are a horror enthusiast to the extreme.
Yes.
We watch movies all the time together.
Yes.
She is one of our best friends. She's here all of the time. And
I'm always
we
wanting to
always
watch movies. I always want to watch movies. They don't have time sometimes for weeks at a time.
It's true.
But every time I come over here, I'm like, let's put something on, guys.
Sometimes we're like in the process of doing stuff and it's like sitting down and just focusing on a movie.
That's so hard for you guys most of the time.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is.
Yeah.
I have to be in the right headspace for it. And then I'm totally good to go. But a lot of times we're like doing other things. Or if there's more people over, like people are just going to start talking and be fucking annoying. So it's like it has to be the right moment.
Yeah.
But I love that we watch so many ridiculous horror movies together all the time. So tell me what some of your absolute favorites are.
I have 4 favorites, and they're each completely different from each other. My top most crazy favorite of all time is The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing. It is, okay.
It's a good movie.
Rob Bottin was the makeup effects guy on that. He was in his early 20s, just came on the scene and busted out those fucking sculptures for that movie. Like people, like the thing splitting itself apart, turning into a big flower, a whole bunch of dogs coming out of dogs, coming out of dogs. Like, that movie is intense with makeup effects and the sculptures and the little head that's upside down crawling on spider legs with 2 antennae coming out of, like, that shit was intense.
Yeah. And that's your favorite.
Favorite.
And it's because of those cinematic
It's
aspects.
because number 1, Kurt Russell in that hat. McCready. Best Kurt Russell character of all time.
I love Kurt Russell.
Fucking love
Whitney
Kurt
does
Russell.
too.
Love him. Second thing is they're all isolated. It was a total male cast. There was nobody in the movie that you don't see. It's like a total of 7 people.
Yeah, because of Antarctica, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And they were filming, not in Antarctica, but they were filming in a desolate area. There were no chicks around unless they were on the crew. So it was very much a boys' club. And if you want to watch something funny, watch The Thing with the commentary on. It's John Carpenter and Kurt Russell. And I swear, it sounds like they're smoking a doobie, passing it back and forth, just rehashing the good old times. It is so much fun.
That sounds awesome. That would be really fun.
It is so much fun. They do that for that and Escape from New York.
I don't usually watch the commentary stuff, but there's some that
it's
I
worth
feel like
it if it's certain people. Yeah.
Agreed.
Totally.
We'll have to do that sometime. That sounds fun.
Yeah. So The Thing, top favorite. The movie I've probably seen more than any other movie in the universe is Aliens.
She's obsessed. Last year for Christmas, I got her Aliens blanket and an Aliens coloring book.
Yes.
You love that shit.
I can't live without that movie. Like, if I'm really fucking, I just can't do it anymore. I just can't do it anymore. I put on Aliens. And I'm like, do you see what this bitch has been through?
She would seriously watch it like 5 days out of a week sometimes. Yeah. Those times where I'm like, what are you doing? Watching Aliens? Like, you watched it yesterday. And she was like, I know. But I need something comforting that I love. And I'm like, there are so many other movies out there. Come on, Maya.
Game over, man. Game over. Yeah.
But hey, that's cool that you love it so much. You know,
Yeah.
I'm glad that you have something that you really
I love my mom. But when I saw those movies, I was just like, I wish she was my mom. Because she's so fucking badass, man. She's so badass.
She is.
And my mom's pretty badass. Like, if anybody fucked with me, she'd be over there with a gun and a heartbeat.
That's badass.
Yeah. She's pretty badass, too. She'd be all like, get away from her, you bitch!
It's Sigourney Weaver, though.
Yeah. It was Sigourney Weaver.
She's pretty badass.
Yeah. She's fucking way badass. Yes. Sigourney fucking Weaver forever.
Love it. Okay, so that's
the
two. One you've watched. How many times, if you had to give an honest guesstimation, how many times do you think realistically that you have at least put the movie on? Maybe like you've got distracted and done other things, but how many times have you like put that movie on deliberately?
Tony, you know it's pronounced Giger, right? Not Geiger. So many people say H.R. Geiger, and I'm like, what? His name is H.R. Giger.
Technically, but you know, Americans.
Fucking Americans. Definitely in the triple digits. Definitely in the triple digits. I would say probably
800.
Maybe.
Damn.
I don't even know if there has been that many hours in my life, but
you deserve a fucking award for that.
Yes. That's 1,600 hours of my life. I've spent watching that movie. I might not like sit there and like watch it all the way through, but I'll put it on and it's just always on.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
What do you love about that movie besides obviously the fact that Sigourney Weaver's a badass?
Sigourney Weaver, I love H.R. Giger. Fucking love his designs and stuff. They're fucking metallic, electronic, pornographic, fucking gorgeous drawings that he does.
Whitney, then he's seen the amazing McDonald's promo movie from 1988, Mac and Me. It's no alien, but that shit is cool. I mean, I probably saw it when I was a kid. Remember Mac and Me, the movie, a little bit. My brother used to watch that shit all the time.
Do you know whenever Paul Rudd goes on Conan O'Brien, some Irish dude, he's got red hair.
O'Doyle!
It's O'Rourke here.
That was good.
When he goes on Conan O'Brien to promote a movie, every single movie since he's first, like maybe not since he's first been on there, but like for the past 40 years, he's looked the exact same and been in movies. Every time he goes on Conan O'Brien to talk about a new movie, he plays a clip from Mac and Me instead. The exact same clip. The kid's brake goes out. He's rolling down the hill uncontrollably. He rolls off the cliff and falls down into the water. And then Max just sits up and he's like,
That's so bizarre.
He plays that same clip every single time. And he keeps telling Conan he won't do it again. He won't do it again. And he sat there and was like, yeah, no, seriously, the producers of this movie told me I have to actually show this movie clip. So go ahead and roll the movie clip. And then it was fucking Mac and Me. He gets him every time. When will you learn, Conan O'Doyle?
I love that. That's so funny.
Oh,
See,
it's hilarious.
this is like a perfect sign of the random trivia knowledge involving Hollywood
that I can keep people entertained with.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. That's so fucking funny. Okay, favorite movies.
Other favorite movies. So we got The Thing, we've got Aliens. Next is, of course, An American Werewolf in London. That's where it all started for me. Thriller was good. Thriller got my feet wet, but it was when I actually saw American Werewolf in London that I was like, okay.
Is the whole changing scene?
The changing scene. Fucking kills.
It's really good.
I needed to know how they did that. That's what really got me into makeup. I needed to know.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It was fucking crazy.
It's a great scene.
It is. It's crazy. It's a whole great movie. I love the relationship between he and Jack and David, and how when Jack comes back to life and he's like got this little dangling thing right here.
Yeah,
just the little piece of flesh that's like dangling. If you watch the movie, you don't watch the scene. You just watch this little piece of flesh that's dangling from him when he's all zombified. It's amazing.
It's awesome.
I love that movie.
It's so good.
I could watch it all the time. Not as much as Aliens, but I could watch
Not
it.
as much as Aliens.
I can never do anything as much as Aliens. And number 4, this was all in random order because it's not low on my list at all by any means. Evil Dead 2. Evil Dead 2, for me, is one of the most perfect comedy horror movies ever. Not taking itself seriously, but not compromising quality.
Sure.
It looks like the movie the Three Stooges made, and that's who you had making the movie.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That was it. That was totally it. And I fell in love with Bruce Campbell. Still in love with Bruce Campbell. Don't care how old he gets. I'll always be in love with Bruce Campbell. Autolycus from Xena, as you might know him. Who hasn't watched Xena? You guys have all watched Xena, right?
Watched Xena.
Fucking Xena. You would love Xena.
I don't know. Back in the day, I thought it was so fucking cheeseball that I did not get into it.
It was very LGBTQ friendly.
Which I'm down with, but as far, I don't know, I just felt like I was like, oh my God, this is just so ridiculous. Like, but I never gave it like a good honest try, but back when it was just like on TV, I would like,
you need to give it
flipping through the channels, and then you're like, this is just not.
We'll do season 1 and then tell me if it's for you.
That's an entirely large commitment. I'm all about like a 2-episode kind of thing, like 1 to 2 episodes. Honestly, sometimes with 1 episode, I can be like, okay, it's just not my jam. That's okay. But something like that, maybe give it a little chance. I don't know. A couple
episodes.
It just seems ridiculous.
It can be a little cheesy.
A little?
Yeah. Okay, so it can be cheesy. We won't talk about how cheesy. It can be cheesy. But it was really good. It was really good.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Good, I'm glad you...
I had a little chakra keychain. Her little chakra that she would throw. Oh. Yeah.
So good. So those are some of your favorite movies.
Mm-hmm.
Now I want to know, what are your 4 least favorite?
Ghost Rider, Battlefield Earth.
I don't even have to finish this.
There's a list on my fucking refrigerator right now.
Please say Starship Troopers.
Oh,
it's the worst.
I love Starship Troopers. That movie's amazing.
I have only seen a couple movies in my life that I have actually like shut off. I will follow just about. I followed Tales from the Crapper all the way through, and Starship Troopers is one that I could not fucking make it through, and I really do not like Denise Richards.
Oh, me neither.
Really don't. I
Me
really
neither.
don't. I mean, I don't know about her as a person and an individual. I'm not judging her as a person.
Oh, I am.
I don't know. But as far as her as an actress, I don't like her as an actress, and I don't want to look at her face. And I thought that movie was such trash pile. It was so fucking bad. It was so bad. So I was hoping that was on your list, but you love it. So
It's
now
great.
I do not trust your Xena recommendation anymore. Now that you said you love that movie.
It is one of the cheesiest sci-fi movies ever made, and I love that about it.
So fucking bad.
It is. It's terrible.
Okay,
Oh.
so Ghost Rider, which I haven't seen, but it's Nicolas Cage, so that totally belongs on the list this time.
Fuck. I have never walked out of a movie theater other than that movie.
It was that bad.
It was that bad. I would have walked out of Battlefield Earth, but I was there with my mom, and I didn't know if she was enjoying it. And I didn't want to go, can we get the fuck out of here?
I haven't seen that one either.
Oh, God, so bad. There's a couple more on my fridge, but those are the 2 that immediately come to mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
And it's
Feel you on
mostly
that.
just really bad dialogue, really bad dialogue, bad direction. If you've got crappy dialogue, you can't pull anything off in a movie for me. Yeah.
And if the acting is legitimately bad,
Oh, yeah.
then I'm like, okay, you just took the whole magic out of the whole thing, because I am so hyper aware of the fact that you were just a dude in an outfit saying lines
That's
that I
why-
can't get into the movie at all.
That's why we only like Nicolas Cage, playing Nicolas Cage.
I mean, has he ever done anything different?
He tries to, and those are the ones that suck.
Yeah.
When he plays himself, like fucking Moonstruck. That's an award-winning movie. He's great in that. He's playing Nicolas
I haven't seen
Cage.
it forever. He just keeps going. He's like the Energizer Bunny.
No, that's Paul Rudd.
No.
Yes.
Nicolas Cage is older than Paul Rudd.
I know. I'm just saying. Nicolas
But my
Cage.
goodness, like he just keeps going, and they keep giving him roles.
I bet they're the same age.
I don't know.
Paul Rudd's got to be 50-something. How old is Paul Rudd?
Yeah. I don't know.
Alexa, inspired by mystery. Chat group. How old is Paul Rudd compared to Nicolas Cage? How old is Paul Rudd and Nicolas Cage? Oh, yes, I did walk out of a movie. I just said Ghost Rider.
Yep, Ghost Rider.
So bad.
Paul Rudd.
That's right. Fucking Paul Rudd is a national treasure. Oh, Bubba Hotep. Oh, that's such a bad one. I love it. Have you ever seen Bubba Hotep?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay.
And I have heard people tell me that I should watch it, but I have never got around to it.
It's good.
I've never got around to
It's good.
it. Okay, Paul Rudd is 52. Good job. Mild love. And then Nick Cage. I'm going to guess Nick Cage is
Did I
like
set off your
62.
Alexa? That's
And
awesome.
57. Cage is 57.
Okay, so
That's
look,
something.
they're almost the same age.
Okay. Yeah.
And Paul Rudd looks like a child.
Yeah.
Is that insane? Hard living. Nick Cage has done some hard living.
Fucking A, man. I mean, when you're forging a sword in 45 minutes, you know, like that shit takes it out of you.
He can give us Willy's Wonderland, or he can give us Leaving Las Vegas. Those are his two. That's all he can do. He can either give you an award-winning performance, or he could give you the shittiest movie of all time.
What did you think of Mandy?
I haven't watched it. I do want to watch Pig.
I haven't watched Pig, but I would like to. I heard
Yeah.
that one's really good. Mandy, me and Dusty were not big fans of it. Everyone's like, dude, Mandy, you gotta check it out. And we watched it and we were like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
This is so weird. And it was just, I don't know. It was not my favorite thing I've ever seen. And that's the sword forging where it's like, shit's going down. Let me just make this sword real fast. And it's like this epic sword, but it's like, yo, if I could make a sword in 20 minutes, that'd be fucking badass. So, like, the fact that he made it was awesome, but I'm like, oh my God, this is so fucking ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Okay, Tony agrees. Mandy was trash. Yeah. It was, you know, if people like it, that's cool. But if it's a Nick Cage movie, like, you really have to have something really special bring to the table to take away from the fact that Nicolas Cage is present.
Yeah. Yeah. Very much so.
And, hey, not my favorite, but that's okay if anybody likes it. Good for you. But I did hear Pig was interesting. Because now he's doing a bunch of really, like, crazy shit.
Yeah.
It sounds like he's, like...
That's what I'm saying. He's either here or he's here.
Yeah.
That's all he's got.
Yeah. I just don't know how he keeps getting hired for things. It's ridiculous. Me neither. It's a matter of time until he gets shot into space. You hear they're sending Tom Cruise to space? The first fucking American movie that is going to be made in space.
Oh,
Tom Cruise is going to space to film this movie.
At first I pictured Tom Hanks. I was like, he already went out of space.
And that's actually funny that you said that, because when we were doing the podcast a couple Mondays ago, I was like, all right, Hollywood's sending somebody to space. Who is it? I opened up for opened up to the chat, and Dusty actually said Tom Hanks. That was his guess.
Yeah.
And everybody gave guesses, and I was like, nope, it's fucking Tom Cruise. Of all the people that is going, that's Tom Cruise. I mean, he's a good actor. I'll give him that. But, like, you know, whatever. I would have thought it would be more entertaining if it was Nicolas fucking Cage. Like, you know, like, of course Nicolas Cage is going to fucking space, man. Of course. It's that ridiculous that now we're just taking it to the next level, you know? Like, I don't know. Whatever. So, continuing with horror movie magic, what are some of your favorite classic horror movies, and which classic ones do you kind of not really care that much about?
I would like The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. It's an old German impressionist film, and it's in black and white. It's probably from the 1920s, I think. It's got a beautiful set for being black and white. It's beautiful, like the shades of gray. You can only imagine what it would look like in color, but it looks perfect in black and white.
Interesting. I've never even heard of that one.
Yeah, that's a really great one. What other early horror movies?
Maybe not super early, but like thinking about, like, you know, Halloween, A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, I'm going like 1910s. I'm like, how old do you want?
No. Like the classic quintessential horror films.
Freddy Krueger is my favorite out of the slashers in the 80s.
I agree with you.
Michael Myers was great. He didn't have a lot of personality. Jason Voorhees is, you know, also not a lot of personality, really. But Freddy Krueger comes on the scene, scares the shit out of you in the first movie, and then from the second movie on, he's like, ha ha, motherfuckers, and like totally turns it around and makes it funny, and like the death scenes, so much better than in the other slasher films, because he gets so creative. Sorry.
So, don't be sorry, my goodness. You never know. This is what we're all about. We're about passionate. The passion. I'm into it. What about, like, Amityville and stuff like that? Like, you know, they weren't part of, like, the big groups or whatever, but what do you think about those, like, those old, like, the beginning, really, of horror? Because Exorcist was one of the first, like, big ones that came out, and then you had, like, some of these, like, other really spooky ones.
Yeah, everybody else wanted to hit that level of terror.
I love Amityville.
Amityville is great. I do have to say that I prefer the Ryan Reynolds version.
I was actually going to ask.
He is cut and walking around half naked through the whole movie. And I was just like, I am here for this.
I love both of them.
Yeah.
I love the original, which I have watched so many times. And I, you know, of course, every time they come out with a remake of something, I'm like,
maybe
are you going to fuck it up? Like, I always go into it with, like, an honest
trepidation. Yeah.
Always. I'm like, okay, maybe it'll be super badass. And I really liked the version that Ryan Reynolds did. I thought he did a fantastic job. It was really great. So that being said, I was curious how you feel about some of these remakes. Like, personally, I would say Halloween, Rob Zombie's Halloween.
That's a remake, right?
Yes, Rob Zombie redid like the original Halloween.
It was more of a reimagining.
Well,
I think of it.
there was certain scenes that were kind of replicated.
Yeah.
But he gave more insight into Michael as a child, which personally I absolutely loved.
Yeah.
Because in the original, it's kind of like
this guy
escaped. And now he's going. And somehow he's finding his sister who was adopted out. How? We don't know. Maybe it's a psychic connection. No one's talking about it. And it's just like standing there on the side of the street and everyone's all, ah! You know, like I get it. And for the time, I think that it was fine. But one of the things I loved about Rob Zombies is it gave you more understanding of who Michael Myers is from his eyes. It wasn't like, you know, like what's his name? The fucking Loomis, Dr. Loomis, explaining about what happened to him. You get to be there in the house when he was young and get to see him get pushed around and get to see him like fucking with the animals and getting in trouble at school. And it was like a slow burn, and the stepdad being a total fucking asshole. And it just showed how he just like was reaching this point where he just like couldn't handle it anymore. It's
an origin story.
Yeah.
I think of it more of as an origin story than a remake of Halloween.
But I don't know. I feel like because the origin, that's just the beginning. It just basically gave more of an introduction, and then it goes into the like stories. Normal story. I'm glad that he was able to show that, because I feel like I connect more and I feel more for the character than I did in the other one. Ooh, favorite vampire movie.
Vampire movie. Oh, jeez. I'm more of a werewolf girl, but okay. Favorite vampire movie. Oh, man. Right now, Fright Night, the remake. With Anton Yelchin.
I don't think I've seen that.
It's got Chris Sarandon in it very briefly. He How
do I feel like I watched that recently, but I'm not recalling any of it. Maybe, I don't remember. But okay, maybe I'll have to rewatch that one.
David Tennant. It's a good one. It's instead of a kid and a guy who hosts a horror show like Elvira, it's a kid and a guy who has like his own Vegas show about, you know, he's like another Chris Angel basically.
Okay.
So the kid finds out that, you know, there are vampires and he needs to go see this guy at the show, and you know, he tells him, no, vampires aren't real. He's like, yes, they are. I've seen one. He's like, you don't know shit, and sends him away. And then starts to find out that the vampires that the kid has seen, like, are really the vampires that, you know, killed his parents when he was growing up and shit like that. Shit. Yeah. So it's a really good movie, and it's got Anton Yelchin in it. He died very tragically several years ago when he was in between his car and the front gate. And something about the car was faulty from the manufacturer in many of these cars. And they still hadn't done a recall, even though people were dying, because they don't do that. And it just moved and smashed him against the gate, and he died. Yeah. And he was the new Chekhov in the Star Trek movies.
Dang, that sucks.
And I loved him so much. He's such a great actor.
That is too bad, man.
Yeah. He did a really great movie of a Dean Koontz book called Odd Thomas. That one I think is on Netflix. You should totally check out Odd Thomas. It's a good representation of Dean Koontz's work, but Anton Yelchin is really great in it. And it's a cute little horror movie.
Okay.
It's cute.
Vampire movies, though, man, that one's really tough for me because Bram Stoker's Dracula.
That was a good one up until
Interview with the Vampire. I love both of those movies with my whole fucking heart.
Yeah.
And if I had a gun to my head, I would have a really hard time choosing one.
There's a gun to your head. There's a gun to your head.
Really hard. Okay, if there's a gun to my head,
there's only one that you get to watch for the rest of your life.
Well, I was gonna say because I was originally gonna say Interview because Brad Pitt is so fucking hot in that movie as a vampire. But then I just thought about the fact.
Antonio Banderas.
No.
Yeah, he's gorgeous as a vampire.
No, I know, but that's not what I'm talking about. He's fine. Whatever.
Keanu Reeves.
No, I was thinking about Bram Stoker.
Yeah.
What's his name? The fucking guy. The main guy. Why am I...
Gary Oldman?
Thank you, for the love of God. God, him as Prince Vlad. With the little glasses and the top hat and the whole fucking thing. Dude.
So you're going to interview.
I mean, it's really...
If you could only watch one or the other for the rest of your life, like you won't get to see the other one ever again.
I think I'd have to say interview then. Although I love Dracula so much. But you know what? Keanu Reeves throws me off in it. He throws me off a little bit. Yeah. Not my favorite. Apparently, he was going through some personal shit. And he had just finished a different filming of a movie. And he was going through some kind of personal stuff. So he had admitted after the fact, he said, I was not proud of my acting in that movie. And I have to agree because it was sucky as shit. But the movie itself, taking Keanu's acting out of it, is a brilliant and beautiful and fantastic fucking movie. And I've seen it so many fucking times. I love it so much.
Keanu Reeves' girlfriend was pregnant with his child and died in a car accident.
Wait, what?
Keanu Reeves' girlfriend at the time, back then, was pregnant with his child and died in a car accident.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. So
this man has had a tragic life. That's why you see him sitting on benches, eating sandwiches all by himself and shit like that.
I know. And so, I understand. But still, it takes away from the experience a little bit because, like, why do they fill these boxes with earth? And I'm like, God damn it, Keanu.
I'm convinced that the only reason why I married Tony is because Keanu Reeves and I haven't met yet. Sorry, Tony. Once I meet Keanu, you are out of the picture. You are out.
Hello, I love Uncle Scar. I am so glad that you are here. Welcome. Okay, Roxy's on the team with interview, but Whitney, Dracula 100%. I also feel you that's a hard one. Gun to the head. That was a really, really tough one because both of those movies are so fantastic. They're so fucking good. But you know what's interesting, though? No matter how many times I've seen Interview, which is like a mazillion, it still throws me off that Tom Cruise is Lestat.
Yeah.
Now, I will say,
he did
a fantastic job. Yeah. He did a great job.
It's
he
just the weirdest casting of all time. Yes.
So I'm not like judging him for his participation. He did a fantastic job being Lestat. It was great. But still to this day, I mean, I'm glad you agree. Like, it was a bizarre casting choice, and I'm not even sure who I would have put in place of him. I don't know. I can't think of it, but it just seems weird that it's Tom fucking Cruise.
Yeah.
I will say, though, Kirsten fucking Dunst.
Oh.
Let me just
fucking
say, she nailed that shit so fucking hard.
And she's the luckiest girl in the world because she got to kiss Brad fucking Pitt.
Yeah. As a young, 11-year-old girl or whatever.
Her first kiss was Brad Pitt. It's all downhill from there, girl.
Dude, and I really like her in general as an actress. I think she's super cute, and she seems really nice in the interviews that I've seen her do, and I think she's a great actress, but I feel like that was hands down the best role that I've ever seen her do. And for a young person to come out and be able to pull that shit off the way that she did.
Oh, yeah.
Like, holy
you clean it up.
Shit. Yeah. Oh, I know. It's so fucking good. She's the fucking best.
She is the best.
I love her. So, yeah, like, some of those aspects in that movie, like, just make it so fantastic. Yeah. And then Christian Slater, it's kind of funny, the Christian Slater being the interviewer. He did great, but I'm always like, Christian Slater? Really? Okay, all right. It almost seems like weird casting too.
You know who was cast before Christian Slater?
No.
River Phoenix. Oh. And then he died. Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Ouch. Ouch, man. I'm glad it was Christian Slater. I love Christian Slater, but it's just kind of funny that that's his role in it. I don't know. It also kind of throws me off a little bit, but what am I missing over here?
Maybe
I'm obsessed with Lucy. Yes, Lucy. Dude, I love
that
her.
red hair. Oh my God, I'd give anything.
Yeah. Yep. But you know what?
Luckily, my daughter Sasha has beautiful red hair.
Her collar that she was wearing.
In the white
Yes,
Yes.
the giant white collar. It's the most ridiculous thing that I have ever seen in my fucking life.
She's wearing a doily.
Oh my God, it's so fucking bad. She did such a good job about that whole, like, you know, like turning, you know, and just like getting all fucking crazy, dude. And I love that it's Carrie Elwes.
Yes.
As like the guy that she's gonna marry. Oh my God, I love him so much. And it wasn't like a very large role for him, but it was like good enough. And I love him. I think he's just so adorable.
He is.
Robin Hood Men in Tights. It's great.
Princess Bride. Come on.
Oh, of course.
Nothing beats Princess Bride.
But I am a huge fan of Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yeah,
I'm not the biggest
movie.
comedy person in general.
Yeah.
Especially like newer comedies. But there's some from back in the day from my childhood that I really, really enjoy and I've seen so many times. And Robin Hood Men in Tights is at the tippy top of the comedies that I just fucking love. And I think it's so funny. Mel Brooks is just so funny. He's so ridiculous.
I know what you mean. I have that same relationship with Hot Shots. Charlie Sheen.
Hot Shots. Oh God, I don't think I've seen that in a million years.
Oh no, my favorite, Airplane.
Haven't seen it.
I am literally stunned to silence. I don't know what to say about that.
I've seen it.
She hasn't seen Airplane.
What? Well, you know, I'll have to rectify that.
You will rectify that.
I'll do it. Well, I'll watch it with you. I'm not against it. It's just never been on, like, while I've been doing it's never just, like, popped up, you know?
But it's also, like, a sentimental classic. So I don't know if it will, you know, be as relevant now if you watch it as it would back then. That makes sense.
Like, if I saw Robin Hood Men in Tights now, I might not like it as much, but because I've watched it so much when I was younger, it has that sentimental.
But it has, like, sports ball people in it that you wouldn't recognize because it's not 1982.
I wouldn't have even recognized them back then.
Oh, yeah, you would. You recognize Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
So there's a couple you would recognize because they were that
But
big.
honestly, it's because of the whole AIDS thing. It wouldn't have been because of the sports aspect.
Wilt Chamberlain?
Of it, you know?
Famous for sleeping with lots of ladies.
I heard he was I remember he was very tall. He was very tall.
Yes.
I know that. I think it was basketball.
You know so much.
Okay, I think because it's tall, so it made me think basketball.
That's probably the extent of your sports ball knowledge right there.
That's literally it.
That's literally
We just
it.
capped out. That's it.
We're done. I don't like sports ball, but I'll go the fuck to a hockey game. Work is sending me to a hockey game next month.
Andrea and Jeffrey and Steve go to hockey games all the time. Andrea is huge into hockey, so if you want to go with somebody that's like super into it,
oh, she could teach me all about it.
Oh yeah, she's like super into it.
Cool.
Actually, we have a new hockey team here, the Kraken.
The Kraken, yeah, the Kraken.
We're gonna have, I believe, we're gonna have some kind of cocktail that is Kraken themed because she's so into it that she was like, we need to have a Kraken drink. So, stay tuned for that one.
Have it called What's Kraken, and don't tell anybody what's in the drink. That's an amazing idea. I'll let you guys have that one for free.
Okay, Dusty says, I never saw Airplane. He's surprised at that too, though I won't like it. Because he knows. Oh,
you never saw Airplane.
He knows the kind of shit that I like. And Tavia too, it's so funny. They know my, like, movie choices so well that, like, they'll be like, yeah, like, it's a good movie, but honestly, like, it's not. You're not going to like it. And I appreciate that.
I would say that about Airplane too. I would say that about her. But I just want to get her to watch movies that I want to watch.
I'm down to give just about anything a try, but I know like if I'm gonna invest my time into doing something,
I'll give something a 10-minute test. If I'm not into it after 10-15 minutes, then that's it for me. I don't want to invest any more of my time.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel bad like once I like start a thing, I like to finish the thing.
Oh no!
Like I feel like unless sometimes here we'll just like, oh, let's check out this horror movie, and sometimes we're like, okay, no, this is so bad. The acting's so bad, and the production quality is so bad, like we can't even make it through. Then I don't feel so bad. But if somebody like worked real hard and it's like a famous movie, and like I feel like a dick, just like
fuck them.
Out on it,
They're stealing 2 hours of your life.
But yeah,
okay. Let's wrap it up. Do we have any questions from the chat room?
Yes, let's check it out.
Because I am going to check out soon.
check it out.
I am Czechoslovakian, so I'm always checking it out.
Yeah.
Czechoslovakian, Scottish.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember the movie or the show Roswell where they called the aliens Czechoslovakians because they couldn't say aliens in front of people? So they talk about Czechoslovakia.
I'm half alien, half Scottish.
Which, by the way, I love that you love that show too.
I love that show.
I don't know if you guys have seen the show Roswell.
The original.
Oh yeah, the original Roswell. It started in '99, I think.
Yeah.
Or 2000, something like that. Roxy, if you have not watched Roswell, I don't know if you have or not. You would love.
Roxy would love it.
You would love Roswell. It's super cute, and it's like these alien teenagers, and it's like it's a whole cute thing. But I love that Crystal loves it too because it's like kind of silly. But it's a really good story, and I feel really invested in the story and in the characters. And I've watched it all the way through like 3 times. Like I really enjoy that show, and it's got Colin Hanks back in the day, who I absolutely love too. I think it's a really, really good show, and not a lot of people care about it. So I'm glad that you like that one too. It's true. So okay, favorite. Oh, you haven't seen it? Oh,
you're in for a treat,
dude. I really think that you'd like it. It's super cute. I will even watch it with you. We can do video chats and we can watch it together.
Yes,
if you want to.
That's the best
really
way.
Fun.
That's the best way.
Really fun. Okay, favorite werewolf movie.
Probably An American Werewolf in London. I'm trying to think of any others that have a lot of depth. Dog Soldiers was good, but not my favorite. There aren't a lot of good werewolf movies out there, unfortunately. Wolf with Jack Nicholas is a good one.
Nicholson.
Jack
Nicholson.
Jack
O'Doyle.
Jack O'Doyle.
Shit. That's so funny. Jack O'Doyle rules. Oh, you're so fucking funny.
Jack Nick Doyle.
That is too funny. No, that's I think that's a good one.
Yeah.
American
it's just that transformation and the comedy in it, the relationship between the boys. Yeah, it was my first love. It'll always have a special place in my
so cute
carved up heart.
Your little carved up heart. Okay. I don't know if we have any more questions. Do you have any other stories or any other little tidbits that you want to share with the class?
Let me check my notes.
Yeah, check your notes.
I came prepared. We talked about that. Talked about that. Talked about that. We talked about that. We talked about that. We talked about that. Talked about that. Oh no, we talked about everything. Sorry, that's all I know.
Fantastic. That is. I'm good. I'm glad that we've covered all of the bases.
We covered everything. That's my entire life in a nutshell.
Awesome. As far as your horror, help! I'm in a nutshell. How did I get in this bloody nutshell? Okay, please hold. Typing one more question. Okay. I got you.
Why didn't you type the question rather than typing
please
please
hold? Because it's probably
hold?
a longer thing.
Okay. Doesn't make any sense. Okay, we'll wait.
We're waiting, and we're waiting. No, it's okay. We got all the time in the world. We're great. Right?
You do. I got a job to go to. Oh, you do too, huh?
I fucking sure do.
Fuck. Let's not think about that right now.
Yeah.
Will you be up for a little while?
Yeah, I'll be up for a little bit, but man, I'm probably going to have a wickedly long day tomorrow, which is okay, because you know what?
You'll be prepared.
Gotta be done. I am feeling productive, so we're good.
And you'll be prepared.
We're going to do our best. Be as prepared as possible.
Oh, you will be prepared.
This is good.
Okay.
Oh, wow, this is going to be a good question. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm terrified now.
Yeah, I feel like I'm curious.
Yeah. It's going to be like...
Roxy has such great questions.
It's going to be like, favorite zombie movie. Has there ever been a moment in a movie, horror or otherwise, that you saw the makeup and tried to recreate it either at home or in a project you were working on because it inspired you so much?
That's a great question. That was worth the wait.
Something that inspired me.
That you're like, I'm going to figure out how to do that and let me try to do that specifically.
Zombie makeup. Trying zombie makeup. Because, man, zombie makeup, you can do a whole lot with nothing. Like latex and cotton balls and shit like that. And so I started out very low budge before I started sculpting and running, prosthetics of my own and stuff like that. Like having a mold of a cast of my own face and then putting, stuff on it and then making a mold of that and then running prosthetics that I can put on my skin that fit me perfectly.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, zombie movies.
Yeah, because there's so many different kinds of zombies, and there's so much, diversity within the zombies. But just making it look like rotting flesh and dead and all bloody and bleh, like, how fun.
Yeah.
Because you can be super creative. It's not like, okay, we're doing a
It's
bullet
not like
wound.
there's a wrong way to do it.
And the bullet wound has to look like this or whatever, you
Yeah.
know? Because otherwise it's not going to have the same effect. So with that, you can be a little more creative with that.
It's a little more forgiving.
I like that.
As starting out, yeah.
That's awesome. Good. Good.
Thanks for the
Good,
question.
good. Yes.
That's a great question.
Well, I just want to thank everybody so much for being here with us tonight. And any of you guys that came in on the Roxy Gunn Project raid, if you are still here, thank you so much for joining in. And I love those guys. And I'm really glad that you guys have popped in. And I do hope that you gave a follow. And I hope that you come back. I hope you come back soon.
Ooh, one last question.
Sure.
Is there a certain scene in a movie that comes to mind where you were like, holy shit, I want to do that? Yeah, the transformation scene in American Werewolf in London. I was like, I would kill to know how he did all that with, like, he had air bladders under the skin. The hair that comes out is actually shot in reverse because it's being pulled in through the, yeah. Like, there was so much that I learned about that. And I was just like, how do they do the teeth? And that's where, the Tom Savini book and being able to do fangs and stuff came in. So, yeah, that scene, the transformation scene, in that movie.
That's a really good one.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that you never got to the point where you could actually have worked on something of that stature. But you know what? It's never too late. And you could always fucking do that if you wanted to. Or you could just enjoy it from the outside or whatever. But that's cool that was like a really defining moment.
Changed my life.
In your life. That's so fucking awesome.
Yeah.
This was so great. This was so perfect for Halloween time. I'm so glad you got to share.
What we needed today. Yeah.
It is definitely what we needed. And I'm glad that we got to talk about horror movies with a bunch of horror fans.
Yay.
Dude, Lady's been digging this shit. She's been fucking all into this shit. This has been really, really fantastic.
Thanks, Lady.
It's been fantastic. I'm so glad to have all of you guys. Like, thank you guys so much for the support continuously. I'm so glad to see so many of your names popping up on a consistent basis. It really means a lot. I just started doing this beginning of the year, and it's really nice to see a community being built right now. It makes me really happy. And to get you, who normally you're keyboard warrior from home, Gypsy Danger over here, and now you get to be here, like, on the other end. So
I called
really awesome.
I called dibs on the Halloween show like months and months and months ago.
She did.
I was like, "Oh, come on," but it's gonna be like right before Halloween.
Yep, and I put her on the calendar. And I was like, "All right, good to go." So here we are, and I'm so glad that we did it.
Yeah,
this was so much fun.
So much fun.
Oh, so much fun. So thank you, everybody. If anybody is in here that has not given the Roxy Gunn Project a follow, please follow them. They're the fucking best, and I love them.
Thank you, With a Stick.
And I would like to say thank you to our most fantastic mods, Dusty Rockets, who is the best mod, but unfortunately he has not been able to be in the chat tonight because he is working on a project, but he's been listening.
He's overworking.
So he popped in with the little cockmaster or whatever here and there.
Yeah.
But big love to Dusty, who has been such a fantastic help, and then extra big love to Roxy. I love you so much. Let's all do mod love. Everybody in the chat, let's put some fucking mod love in the fucking chat now. He even gets a song.
Oh, yeah, we're earring sisters.
Oh, we are. We got matching earrings.
We got matching earrings.
Oh, thank you guys so much. So we are going to raid another fantastic individual who is on presently. This is Fetchbug. Anytime that she is on while we are streaming, we fucking raid her because she is so awesome. She does true crime, talks about true crime. She is in mortuary school, so sometimes that comes up. This month, she has been doing horror makeup every single week. She has been doing a different cosplay horror makeup kind of thing. So I'm really curious to see what she's doing
for Halloween
tonight. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's probably going to be really good. So anybody that has not checked out Fetchbug before, please just hang on for the raid. Even if you just pop in for a second, give her a follow because she's just lovely and fantastic. And we really like to support each other. There's only a few spooks on Twitch, and we gotta look out for each other.
Yeah, we gotta lift each other up.
We do. So Roxy is going to queue up that fantastic raid because she is the raid captain of the universe.
Da-ba-da-ba.
And next Monday we will be back. Oh, she's doing true crime.
Sweet.
Okay. Whatever she's doing, I love whatever she's doing, man.
Have a great
it's
night,
fucking
everybody.
great. Good night, lady. You are just the sweetest, and I'm always happy to have you here. We have such a nice little family, a little Twitch family. And we'll be back on Monday with more weird fucking news.
We'll be here with weird news.
So awesome.
Guinness Book of World Records. Florida man.
Alligators.
Alligators.
Eating alligators.
I was telling my mom about your Monday night show, and I was like, this is what she does. Weird news, alligators, Florida man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, that's world records.
It's so fun. There is some really fun shit on there. I love it because I didn't know about any of this stuff before I started researching. It's fucking great.
I love that you have to research it. I think that's great.
It takes me hours.
Yeah, I know.
To go through and find all the stuff and make all the notes.
Yeah, I know.
It's fucking crazy.
I love that you're that into it.
I am dedicated to the cause, sharing the news with the people. We got to share this news because I would come across random things and now I get to share it with everybody. It's fucking great. So thank you guys so much. It was a pleasure having Crystal on, and if you want to follow her on
Facebook.
Whatever. On Facebook. Crystal Cartwright.
Oh, you told them my last name? Oh, well, they can look me up on IMDb.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
You already said your last name.
Yeah, well, fuck me then. I'm the asshole.
All right, we're going to do this raid.
Do it.
Let's do it.
Do it.
I'm ready.
Do it.
We need a raid song.
Do
we
it.
need a
Do it.
raid song.
Do it.
Gonna be checking out
Do it.
Facebook with the raid.
Do it.
Raid.
No, really, do it. Do it. This is not a real song. Do it.
Come on, do it.
Do it.
We did it.